Hello and welcome back to our 22nd episode of the Adventures in Excordia campaign. I'm the GM Connor, and today we're actually starting about half an hour early because of time constraints with Liv and Katira. So
Hi.
we are going to jump straight into what Katira's been up to. As a quick recap, since it's been a minute for her, Katira, you had finished up some minor landscaping at Fort Nix and come to join the dungeon delving that your party was on. Diving in, you helped clear out the level of a magmatic guardian who absolutely whooped ass and moved at blazing speeds. After which, you the player, were unable to make it the next week or next couple, I believe.
Yep.
And in that time, a certain rat got his hands on a bag of beans from a vault of cursed items. After
No, I
planting,
was there for the bag of beans.
right,
I
it's
wasn't
just
there for the aftermath.
as soon as the frogs spawned and the mind flayer apparated, you were
Yep.
gone. You
Yep.
missed the death of Dat Rat and the
But I
subsequent
have been told.
spawning of series of horrors. Uh,
Hmm.
we pick up as you the time I when I get to 7:30, I might rewind. I'm definitely going to be rewinding a little bit for the rest of everybody to pick up.
Yeah.
But we pick up as Dat Rat's body is being wrapped by the noble Magris de Beau and being carried by Morgana and probably Cairn out into the ship. You spent the fight where they were going to town and the one in which Dat Rat died, guarding your charge.
Yep.
So you have water breathing ray cast on everyone just in case the time limit was getting close, and you all swim up to the ship. It is dead silent, and your token that you meditate on for your emotions is vibrating. And when you hold it up to your ear, you hear little popping noises. And
That's not good.
there's a faint blue energy that flashes each time you hear a pop.
Yeah, it's basically looking at her and going, "It's time. You can't wait any longer."
Pretty much. So, on the ride back, the noble is talking to people. Do you listen in, or are you zoned out? The death of your
She
ally.
tries to listen. She tries to listen, but it kind of fades in and out as she kind of realizes that her time is running out on getting her emotions back. So she really has to take every risk she can. And thinking about that and thinking about not being there to help, even though she was helping by guarding Magrius, but that she wasn't there for her allies, for her friends. So she catches snatches. If there's anything that's, that he seems to be addressing to everyone, she would probably try and tune back in, as in like, I'm specifically being addressed. But as much as she tries to focus, she keeps drifting off.
In case anyone suggested burying Dat Rat at sea, he instead offers to take him home wrapped up, have a funeral for your ally, and then he's offering to cremate your ally to avoid any resurrection, or since he died a very violent death, it's one of the more simple, assured ways to avoid reanimation. You
I
hear
think
murmurs of
that stops her cold, because I feel like that would have been standard.
Yeah. Speaking of standard for death, as this is happening, you start to have flashes.
Yep.
Even not yet in your unconscious state, but apparently zoned out enough to access it. You're having flashes back of Faris, the beacon city on Delneder, as well as your home that you only seen glimpses in these emotional memories. You remember seeing the Hall of the Dead, the long, winding mausoleum with bodies interred to avoid corruption and conversion to a stray. And intermittently, as you are flashing between all the different allies you remember losing in service, you keep having these flashes of this dirt hill until eventually you've fully lost contact with the material world and you find yourself standing at the base of said hill.
I know this place.
You see at the top of it two figures. One laid down and broken apart, and one kneeling over it, weeping. You see rain is suspended midair, as if it's waiting. All the environment around here is waiting for you.
This would be, if my recollection is correct, the first time that she's seen the full body of the other person.
You see the full body in all of its pieces. Look, by some...
No. Not the dead one, the crying one.
Uh,
This is the first time she's seen more than just a reflection of the face or looking down at hands.
That's correct. You are coming up from behind it, so you haven't seen the front, but you do see the long, simple designed working outfit of the figure. Color also
Katira
returns
kneels
as you get closer.
down,
Mm-hmm.
just looking at the scene. Still frozen, I assume, frozen in time.
Yep, until you kneel down.
Yep. She kneels down and almost goes to reach, and then it restarts, and that kind of startles her.
And you find yourself in the position of what you were looking at, of the figure who you had not seen the full body of. You got your walk around to take in everything of what she looked like, and
yep.
I don't think it's quite hit you yet how similar her features look to the ones you see in the mirror.
Yep. There's something almost there.
Last time you were here, you woke up, splayed against the floor, crying out, "Don't leave me, don't leave me." And you find yourself murmuring it again through a broken voice. And you pick up where the last dream left you, as the last life of breath left her body. And then something happens. You feel the shadows elongate. Trees, the wind suddenly shifts back and forth in directions. The body broken before you. You've routed the monster that was attacking her. You beat it bad enough and you slayed it. You viciously broke the other one. But now the body before you of this woman begins to twitch. Fingers snap back the wrong direction, spin around. Arms jerkily snap forward, almost like it's trying to lift, and then like it's trying to pull itself apart, stitch itself together, just flailing as if this corpse were having a seizure, but you know, it's dead. There's no life in it. What's happening? Till you see the shadow below her begin to deepen and deepen, as you see a black liquid begin to pour from her eyes.
She just tries to wipe it away. She knows subconsciously there's nothing to do about it, but she just tries to wipe it away.
Your fight or flight instincts start to kick in. You're not safe. You see, almost like it crawls out of her organs, a large clawed hand that looks not like an exact copy of the beast from before, but the same species. Reaches out, clambering on the ground. A second one, pulling itself forth from her shadow. This large, crow-like head peeking out, turns and looks at you, and the pupils shrink.
Go on, then. Do it.
It continues to climb up
Me too.
till this 10-foot-tall, quadrupedal, crow-like creature with long, fleshy bat wings on its back stands to lording over you. It opens its beak, and inside you see rows of teeth and a long tongue. And just head cocking and twitching. This faint sound of organs and connective tissue snapping and growing into place still. He leans in close to you, sniffing. What do you do?
There is, at this point, she's ready to die. She's ready to lay down and die next to her wife. She does nothing. She just sits there crying, staring at it.
As you close your eyes and instinctively wince for what you know this creature can do, you feel a claw reach from your sternum and slowly trace up, only slightly cutting the skin every now and then, till it gets to your chin and cocks your head upward. The creature's head's twitching and it doesn't seem right. There's something off about it. For a second, the pupils expand and it looks at you for a moment of peace, before they shrink again and it reels back, its hands clasped to the side of its head as if it was suddenly experiencing the worst headache of its life. It begins thrashing on the ground, and in this horrible mimicry of what your wife's voice used to be, just run, I can't run.
No, what?
It begins to screech, this horrible, monstrous caw, thrashing. It begins to roll down the hill, fighting against itself.
She just watches it go.
You have, adding into this feeling of grief that you're overcome with, you have flashes of the next parts of your life, things you do vividly remember. Parts of your service. Specifically, when you were being detailed on what the Astray were. Manifestations of overstimulation. They infect your soul, and so long as the corruption isn't complete, it's usually reversible. But if one's overcame, it is inevitable that madness will take them, and they will join the wastes. Instinctively, these creatures try and flee the site they're born from, having their first feelings be pain. They naturally try and run from it. And you see this crow creature eventually start to take flight, still kind of reeling. And after about 2 minutes of thrashing and fighting with itself, no more struggle, no more indecision. And you're left only with the realization as that some part of her is not at peace with this thing out there, as you see it fly into the horizon. Your memory continues. Do you think you would have chased it down?
I think she would have tried to see at least where it went, but there's no way she could have caught up to it. She's, 30 feet of movement speed versus however much that thing has flying.
Yeah,
and she's already unstable.
And you'd have to go through difficult terrain in the woods.
Yep.
You track
she would just try and see if she could. Yeah.
Looking
until either she this side of it or collapses.
And collapse you do. I don't think you would have had the strength to turn around and go back.
No.
You are eventually awoken by uniformed individuals. They appear to be a collection of elvish-looking folk. Pallid, gray-scaled skin with simple whites and light gray uniforms, with a symbol of 2 raven feathers crossed over each other over the heart on their uniforms. As you wake up, you are covered in mud, tears, blood, and all other kinds of debris. As this figure kneels down to you. Are you well?
No.
What has hurt you?
No, not me. This is, I think, the first time that Katira remembers her wife's name.
Yeah.
She hears herself say, "Not me, Rhianna."
I know not this Rhianna. Have you seen a large, lumbering shadow creature lumbering through these woods? We have been on the hunt for it.
If it flies, then that's her.
They kind of look at each other. They give you what's essentially a shock blanket and go to discuss amongst themselves. They take you onto their cart and begin to describe to you the citizen version of what has happened to your wife. They exclude the more gruesome parts of that. They only barely touch on the part that her soul is now no longer at rest, or rather incapable of being at rest, and that is how it will be for an unknown amount of time. They are not particularly empathetic individuals.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. You do remember remarking that they were oddly cold and seemingly above all that was going on. And correct me if I'm wrong, but did Katira, or whoever you were then, find that alluring, being able to just separate from this kind of pain?
Before she knew what it was, no. It infuriated her at first because she thought it was them choosing not to acknowledge. She thought it was them just choosing, like, no, I don't care. Choosing to not care rather than being unable to care. when she realized it was the ability to feel that was gone rather than the choice, then it started to become very appealing.
There is one part of the conversation that I think guts you. I'm sure at some point you ask, in the way most who are beset by tragedy ask, why you? And
Well, she asks why Rihanna.
they inform me that these creatures are drawn to similarly strong emotions, and that usually it takes somebody who's feeling very strong emotions to be converted. They have a sort of sense for these things. And it's then you remember you had just gotten into a fight over something unbelievably stupid minutes prior.
I did this.
I place a hand on your shoulder. It is not entirely true to say that.
But it's not entirely false either.
They just kind of stare at you for a moment. Blame is unhelpful in battling these situations and these creatures. If you wish, we can take you back to your home, and we will continue the hunt for this Rhiannon. Mispronouncing your wife's name.
I can never go back. She won't be there.
There is another option, but only if you both choose to and have the will for it.
What is it?
The one talking to you unclasps their pin off their chest, the wood of the crossed raven feathers, and places it in your hand. There are many in our order who have come from desolate backgrounds in hopes to find new beginning. This too can be your path if you choose. You can help prevent these tragedies from befalling others, and perhaps one day you might find your beloved. But I can make no promise that you won't suffer the same fate. But it is a fresh start if you have nowhere else to go.
I would die 1,000 deaths to be with her again.
And you just kind of wrap your fingers around the pin and give you a very robotic hug, as if they know they've been instructed when dealing with people that this is a comforting act, but do not themselves understand it. After 3 timed pats on the back, they lean back. All will be well. We will take you back with us. You have until we cross back through the portal to decide.
My mind is already made up.
And as your memory comes to an end, you are suddenly more aware of the conditions of which you signed up for the matron's army. You wake up in the middle of the night. Most everyone else is either in that brief period of night where everyone's in a trance or asleep, and you were just shot up. You have tears that have stained. You can see the trails that have gone down your cheeks and have covered your clothes. And you look over across the ocean, and you just hear her name over and over in your head.
I'll find you. I'll find you, I swear.
And with that promise, you have regained all the feelings of sadness you ever lost. And grief is once again yours.
Oof. Just in time, too.
The feelings for losing Dat Raht are also beginning to flood back. Somehow a little more manageable now, ironically. Having felt the worst pain you've ever felt in your life, as, correct me if I'm wrong, as dark as it may sound, this doesn't hurt as bad.
No, it does not. Nowhere near.
I'd like at this time to ask Cairn, Pyro, what he's been up to on this
Hey, how are you?
flight back.
Aaron, this is on the boat. He has taken to the absolute corner, back corner, or whatever section of the ship is the furthest from Zenkiri. And he is just curled up against his knees against his chest, just staring. He still sees the hallway, just infinitely longer, and he can feel skeleton hands reaching for the back of his neck.
Give me a wisdom save, actually.
I think I would have opened my sheet by now. You'd be wrong.
I'll let you choose if you think you've faced enough death to give you disadvantage on this. The more you faced, the harder this would be.
He's faced innumerable deaths because he's put down a lot of dumb young orcs who are doing. Didn't have infinite supplies, you know.
You are sat there, wringing your hands. It wasn't uncommon for you to recite the names of the children you took care of. And now you similarly have been reciting those you took care of, thinking of those you've lost, and just another name in the list you couldn't save, and it's wearing on you. What have you done with the magical shard that you've been wearing? Is it still on you?
It is. He just... It feels almost cold against his skin.
Warmth of it is gone.
And, yeah, and every once in a while he'll stare at it, and his face will get stuck in a rictus of fury. Because it's finally hit home that all of this recent abilities that he's had, it's based off of someone else's power. And he has come to dislike that severely.
You both have high perceptions. I think both Katira and Cairn notice each other going through very similar emotions at the moment. Not just in the way that everyone else is grieving, but grief of someone who has lost many or much value before. And I think it's now that you kind of lock eyes and can see that there's at least one person here who understands.
I mean, Katira definitely understands the list of names to essentially be a memorial wall.
Yeah. You have seen many allies in the Corps be brought low. Is there anything you two would like to do once you lock eyes in the middle of the night?
He just almost stares through her and just nods.
She approaches him,
There's
I think, for one of the first times.
these seats are set up in a way. There's like two, and I don't think Karen would have had anybody next to him. So there's a spot for you to go up and sit next to him.
She does.
You're face to face.
I think this will be the first time I have ever said this, but I remember how this feels.
It doesn't get any easier. But this is a new low. This isn't the first time I've had to deal with a uncooperative patient. This feeling, I feel empty.
Yes. I know that feeling very well.
It's gone, Katura.
I know.
He holds up his symbol of faith.
I know.
It seems extra mundane, no undercurrent of power.
With your high enough insight, Katira, you've been surrounded by holy folk every now and then. You know, you've seen Cairn and felt the presence of his faith. And you feel the absolute absence of it now.
It is a reflection of now. It does not have to remain.
I don't understand. You were in that vault. You didn't see what I saw. That was no mere creature. That was death. A twisted incarnation of... I could feel it pulling on my soul. It could have just gotten rid of me. With like that. He snaps his fingers, just staring manic-eyed at it. It could have told me to die, and I would have just dropped.
And yet here you are.
Yes, without doubt, Rat. I did not. I did not succeed. I lost. It was playing with me. And then, even then, I wasn't even worthy enough to kill.
It strikes me how alike we are in this moment. I could do nothing to save her. I tried. And when she was gone, all I could do was watch and beg for death, and it did not come. Death looked me in my eyes and turned away. Because there is somewhere else I was meant to be. There is somewhere else you are meant to be.
I understand. I don't know how I'll be able to help now. I don't think I can look my goddess in the eyes. Not right now. I've heard of certain beings, such as clerics and warlocks, talking with their patrons. I've never talked with Ilvian. I don't know if I could look her in the eye if she decided to show up now. Because when I failed Dat Raht in there, I felt a surge of anger, disgust even. Directed towards my god, and that's when it was broken. I felt my faith gone.
Good of you. That is not the end of all. It doesn't have to be.
What else do
It
I
is
have?
broken now.
I
You
understand.
may repair it or find something new. Those are the only options.
He's just holding the sliver in front of him, in the palm of his hand, just. I don't know what to do now. I am far too weak. I may have to retire. I don't know what we'll do then. It probably won't be pretty.
You say that you are weak, but I do not see this. You have undergone a great deal to make yourself stronger. For yourself, for us. This breaking is not an end. Not of everything. If it is broken here, you must find it somewhere else.
This is why I hate elves. You're far too young looking to be providing sage advice. Bullshit.
I am over 500 years old, and the life I lived before that, I don't recall how old.
I'm 30 years old. Plus some. I don't know my exact age anymore.
Yes, you are indeed quite young.
I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'll look for options, but if I can find nothing, no reconciliation, I don't know what I'll do. I might stay, I might leave. But as it stands now, I am a liability in terms of any.
Must it only be with Ilvian?
No one else would take me.
There are others.
I've
If-
tried some others.
If
Not
trust
that many.
cannot be found with one, perhaps it can be found elsewhere.
Perhaps. It's just. I don't understand why none of the other ones would take me. It's not for lack of trying. Ilvian was just the one that actually stuck for some reason, some connection with the whole family and bloodlines sphere of influence.
What is it you feel called to do? What is it you feel you must?
That's the issue with Ilvian. The only singular issue I've taken in terms of what I've wanted to do and what she instinctively has a goal for. She's the unseen hand. I don't. As you saw that first time I blundered into that meeting, I don't take subtlety to this advanced level.
Perhaps you should find one more suited to your goals, rather than suiting yourself to theirs.
We are on a new planet. Maybe there's someone else who can do it. Maybe not. You seem to be going over harder issues than Dat Raht. I may be younger than you by over 400 plus years, but it don't take a genius to see that. You seem like an old wound has been torn open and needs new stitching.
Just memories returning after many centuries. Things somehow I knew I had forgotten, but I did not know what they were, and I do now. Nothing is easier or harder, only different. What is hard to one is easy to another, and vice versa.
Fair enough.
This, to you, I think, is as difficult as Rayanna was for me.
Rayanna?
She was... I suppose she was mine. Who I was before.
I see. Tell me about it. In order to preserve the memory. It helps me when I recite the names of those I've lost and taken care of. It helps me remember to just describe them out.
There's the hinge. There's little I remember. As part of entry into my service, in order to be of use, my memories and emotions were sealed away so that I could not be corrupted into one of the beings we fought. In my retirement, I have steadily regained those emotions, and with them the memories attached. I remember little of her or even of myself. I've only just remembered her name. She was beautiful.
I can't say that doesn't disturb me that someone could do that to another person, but as
It
we've
was
said
my
today,
choice. I knew. It was not a trick. I knew and I chose. Because I could not bear it.
That's more socio indoctrination type things. But not necessarily any of my business. Well, absolute worst case if I'm not killed outright by vampires. Now, if you ever need to talk, I'll probably be bumbling around before until I can figure something out.
Well, if you ever have need of guidance from an older elf, I am here. The things I remember a little, but there is much wisdom to be learned in experience.
Always.
And as you wrap up this conversation, I think now is the time we go ahead and start the session proper. It has been an absolute pleasure, Liv, getting to do this. And
This is awesome.
I am so glad we're able to pop in early to get that started. And judging by the pace of how D&D goes normally, I don't think we're going to get a chance for you to you might be able to pop in with here and there comments, but by the time we get back to the scene you all just did for the rest of the players, I think it'll be time for your show.
Probably, but I'm content to listen in for a while. I have it on push to talk anyway, so.
Wonderful. So, to the rest of you all, we've got the whole gang here. I'll go ahead and do our introductions. We already know Karen and Katira are here, so let's jump up with the artist formerly known as Dat Raht.
You did.
Biggie Cheese.
And like his character, life imitates art.
Life. Return.
The rat has vanished.
Death
Short
imitates
King.
art.
All right then, and Dario played by Norvin. We'll skip over Dom.
Ayo.
Yeah, I was hoping.
Silver played by Tristan.
Hello. Sorry I'm a little late.
Oh, you're good. God was later. Morgana played by Shane.
Hello.
And Zonkiri played by Fergus.
The one and only.
Not anymore.
Very not anymore.
Not anymore.
I think that might have been his joke, y'all.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, it was.
It was.
Damn. What's that disc flying right over my head?
Both of them need to say it at the same time. Just double Zancaries. I'm the only Zancary.
That does seem like a Zonkiri thing to me. Just no, of course I'm the only
Oh
real
my
one.
god.
May the
I
real
can't wait
Sun
for
Connor,
Fury
did you make
please stand up.
Zonkiri into twice? Did you make Zonkiri into twice?
No,
make no
Dom
comment.
did, technically.
I make no comment. So we pick up with you all in the dungeon. That rat's body lay on the floor as Karen drops him. You are, I'm going to assume, just in the purposes of time, you filled in your benefactor of what happened. He similarly would have offered to wrap him up, so you all for easy transport back home. Is there anything you all wanted to do in the dungeon before you headed back to your home?
Despite the fact that this we have not had a long rest, correct?
Correct.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So, despite the fact that Zonkiri, or let me rephrase it. Despite the fact that I know kind of, what kicked all of that off. Zonkiri is going to be investigating the area and Dat Raht to try to figure out what the hell caused all those weird frogs that were summoning nightmares.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. I would like to note, Karen did say he grabbed the beans off Karen's body. Or Karen took them off of Dat's body.
I'm back.
I'm aware.
Okay.
But, Zonkiri's not just going to be leaving here without going,
Right.
I wonder what caused all that.
Actually, give me an investigation check then. Just to piece it together.
Bro, that shit was wild. I wonder what it means.
Double 2s for a total of 10.
Jane, stop touching your sheet.
I didn't do anything. Don't blame me.
So, Zonkiri. I mean, does anybody... Well... Damn. You comb over the crime scene, and as best you can gather, you get a whopping description of something magical was created by Dat Raht that had a secondary effect that summoned these creatures depending on who interacted with them. That's all you know. And that is the most average interpretation of what happened that you could have put together.
There's what do you say? There's too much residual magical interference to figure out anything more than that.
Pretty much, from the dungeon that did the magic melting, to the Zonkiri Talagith that apparated and cast Wish, to the frogs, to the beans. It's static.
Oh, Connor.
Yes.
Might I make a suggestion?
Sure.
No, not allowed. Breaks too much shit.
I mean, this is actually specifically breaking shit. There is a section in Tasha's for places where extremely powerful magic has converged all at once, where it can cause the weave to unravel and cause, some minor effects in the area. Would you like that?
Supernatural regions unraveling magic?
Yes.
Sure. What trick? Okay, so consider the rolling of the magic in the following circumstances. Any charges are expended on a magic item. When a creature of a high challenge rating dies. Spell first slot. Okay. Sure. I'd consider this... I actually do also have another one. Supernatural region effects that I got from the DMG. Oh yeah, unraveling magic effects. I have the table already built in. So, do you cast spells in the process of you trying to figure this out?
Most likely things like detect magic.
Okay.
Probably unidentify.
So as you're going through, you start to notice that it has some weird magic effects. Interesting. As you're casting Identify, you suddenly start to have a halo of light glow around you. And it doesn't come off. You shed a bright light in 10 feet, and another 10 feet is dim light.
Well, that's unusual.
You poke a body, and boom, a little bit of force, like static electricity, jumps off and hits it.
Everyone, I'm not entirely certain what happened here, but I think it would be best we leave post-haste.
You see this as Zonkiri is glowing like a Renaissance painting of Jesus. Ironically.
The weave in this area might have been damaged by whatever those frogs were. The longer we stay here, the more risk we incur of something far more. And he kind of like gestures to the halo around him. Disturbing happens.
I want you to just sprout angel wings.
Truly a curse.
I think he would vomit.
So,
Zonkiri the Dead returns to life.
Ah!
all I will say is once we hit level 11, That joke's going to be a lot funnier.
Oh God,
Jesus. Oh boy.
I'm worried.
Bro, you just made me so nervous my legs stopped jiggling.
Connor,
Mhm.
do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, because if I tell you in the recording, then it'll be on the recording and people can get spoilers.
Just message it
Perhaps
to Discord.
I'll send it to you.
DM him.
I also clicked on spoilers on screen in case you were about to put anything up.
Yeah. It only records the roll 20 screen. So feel free to enter roll 20.
That'll take a minute to type out, so go ahead and don't wait
Okay.
for that.
Hey, Connor, remind me, how many beans are left in the bag?
2.
Thank you.
And Karen doesn't know that the beans caused this, just they weren't there, and now they are there. You do have high enough insight, though, that you probably think they're related.
Yeah, they did something. I don't know how they work. They do something. So he just has them like bound, just like. No.
And to be fair, they came out of a vault that was full of cursed items. So I think Karen has enough wisdom to know.
There were some weird fucking frogs.
a French jar that tried to scream obscenities at me.
Yeah. I think Karen's wise enough to go, these are dangerous.
They need to be destroyed.
Well, there is a lava flow if you wanted to toss them in it, or you can keep them.
No, Mr. Frodo. All right.
Do you keep them?
I know. I know what I'm gonna
Cast it into the fire! Destroy it!
No.
I know exactly what I'm doing with them.
Plants bolt in the middle of the fort. 2 sarcophagus pyramids erupt.
Plants one right underneath St. Curie spit.
All
right.
We'll see how those unravel. Anyway,
you
you all make your way back to the ship after being advised by your resident wizard that it's not a good place to stick around.
no longer want to be here, Mr. Krabs.
Once you load in, the wrapped body of Dat Raht is placed inside the private quarters with your benefactor. To avoid it getting battered by the wind, and so you all don't have to constantly have a reminder that your friend died. And if you all would like a private moment with the body, you just need to knock and he'll let you in and give you the space. Is there anything you all want to do on the first day back? This is where, in the middle of the night, Karen and Katir had their heart-to-heart. Katir is zoned out for this day. Is there anything you all wanted to do?
Zonkiri, while we're on the ship, we'll approach this, Mr.
Dubo?
Yeah, Magma Dude.
Yeah, him.
Keep wanting to call him Magman.
There's worse nicknames.
Well, no, there wouldn't be, because a Magman is an actual D&D monster. It's a short, little, stupid lava magma spirit that cries and shrieks when you kill it because it explodes. So that would actually be a big racial insult against him.
Oh God. Maybe don't leave it that one.
We're at Dice-aster children. We do not approve of racism.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. He says, hold on.
Fantastical or otherwise.
Unless it's against orcs, apparently.
So here's what it looks like.
Oh Lord.
I've seen a Magman before.
So,
Need I remind you that Pyro was the first one to be like, this is why I don't like elves.
yeah, that would actually be a really big insult to him.
All right, let me clear it up. Here at Dice-aster children, we don't approve of racism unless it's funny.
Sorry.
But anyway,
Sponsored by Twitter.
Zonkiri will be going to Mr. DeBow.
Mm-hmm.
Hello there, our gracious benefactor for this mission.
Zonkiri, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Is there something I can help with?
I do believe that I have something that might be of interest to you.
What would that be?
Am I to understand correctly that you specialize in the transmutative arts?
I do. I'm a transmuter, after all.
There. Considering how well this mission went up into the last few moments, I was wondering if you would perhaps be willing to exchange a bit of knowledge. I recently came across a rather old tome from a ancient transmuter,
Hmm.
the contents of which I think you might find interesting.
Do you mind if I take a look?
He'll hand him the book, but it is like clearly censored over parts of it, using illusory script.
Fair. He you see he's not so much looking at the spells, but rather looking at the margin work to verify the authenticity that this is some ancient tome. I'm gonna roll and see, does he identify where this is from? Let's see. History. Yeah, I think he gets it.
I'd say so.
Where did you get this from?
My travels.
Gantaram is quite out of the way.
Well, you don't exactly find gold picking up rocks on the side of the street.
A fair point. Suppose you do know. Huh. You see, he's kind of piecing together what's up there in Gantaram and why you got a good recommendation from the governess. Huh. What are you looking to exchange this for? Or this information for? Slides it back over to you.
Like of the like.
A spell exchange?
Of course. If you would be willing, I'm always on the lookout for more tools that could be of use.
This
And
seems
unfortunately, there just isn't enough years in the centuries to collect everything myself.
This seems amenable to me. How much were you looking to trade?
As much as you are willing to trade for.
And following what we previously discussed, he trades that.
I'm guessing the two of them just scribble. Obviously, they're not handing the spell books over to each other. They're just scribbling out an extra copy of it on a page, handing it to each other, and going, "All right, then."
Yeah.
Because I don't think they'd want to spend 70 something hours next to each other scribbling.
Yeah. You will basically have your one piece of the spell that you're working on, and then when you're done with that one, you go and get another. Just personal space.
20 hours in, he just looks up. He's like, "So, what's up?" Like, don't make this awkward.
Well, it's less than 70, isn't it?
You come here often?
As much as he'll pay me.
For him, it's 35, isn't it?
Yes, because he is a transmuter, so he gets halftime on transmutation spells.
Right.
But the ones he has are not necromancy, so I don't get the halftime.
Correct. And you have keen mind, so the ones that he shares with you, even when you get off the boat in the 48 hours time that you're on here-ish, you'll still have access to and memory of. You'll just be jotting them down.
Yep.
So, and he has a good enough memory to remember the couple spells left after you're done to get them back. Even though he doesn't have explicitly the keen mind feat, he'll still get everything that you traded him. The first day completes. I am so sorry, by the way. I forgot that you all had a previous party token, and on the recording you will see that I was zoomed in on that horrible fucking token the entire time of that heartfelt speech.
You mean the perfect
The
token?
heck?
No.
Wait, the weasel? The ferret?
No.
Oh, what
No,
is it?
I forgot the weasel
Venus?
existed.
What is it then?
I know you can't see it, and I think it's better for my safety that I don't tell you who I made on this token.
Oh, someone's going to tell me. It's either going to be you or one of the players, so you may as well tell me.
So, by some very basic word association, and me having a brain fart forgetting that we were using the weasel for the party token, I did make a Weird Al Yankovic token for the weirdos.
You motherfucker.
I hate you
Yeah, we're
so
all-
And the
much.
entire time of you talking about your
Zoomed
dying wife, it's like
Weird Al Yankovic token.
doing the eyebrow raise like the rock face. Just
Fucking hell.
I'm going to find where you live, and I'm going to kill you. This is going to be the culmination of gay civil war, Connor. This is it. I'm
This
about
was-
to be the North, you Confederate bitch.
this was my declaration of war, wasn't it?
I mean, the.
Hee-hee.
Yeah!
Yeah, indeed. Whoop. So, after day one, you all do start to pick up a transmission. The captain tunes it in, pulls like what would be half a thing of headphones up to his ear and listens in. Flips a switch and begins speaking into it for them to repeat the message. Doesn't understand what's going on. This is likely causing. He has a look of concern, which likely rouses some of you. He looks at you all and then patches it through the speaker. If you all are dialed into this,
Sure.
Yeah.
you come to find out that there was an attack on Moonwatch while you were away.
Oh.
From under the ground.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Drow?
No. Wait.
Fomorians. Darrow.
This is while Zonkiri's in the back just doing his spells and just off the hand reciting Underdark people.
I just see a fat rat in the distance with 3 arms going, "The unclean!"
No.
And it's as you get in towards the end of the day, you see there is a large arcane bubble around Moonwatch that has been cast. And there are ships on the inside and outside of the bubble patrolling. And as you approach, basically Coast Guard approaches you as you slow down and they board to check and see who everyone is. You come to rest. Everyone is aware that this was going to happen after the transmissions. The Magrius steps out, and upon seeing him, they kind of just, they're no longer tossing things, they're just kind of scanning up and down. Like, okay, cool, check, yeah, okay, it's searched. But before, it seemed like they were ready to, like, rifle through all your things. Luckily, they don't open up the wrapped rat body in the back. They just kind of...
I mean, they knew we were on a dangerous expedition. It's not weird to lose a party member.
Yeah. I'll say specifically, they do ask if you all have seen any recent activity of subterranean races, specifically rat folk, recently.
Like were rats?
Like the kind that live in the Underdark.
Oh.
Slang term.
We did have one that was traveling with us until recently.
What happened to them?
Dead.
Our
Yeah.
condolences.
We had to mop up his brain.
Our condolences. You once again see this kind of like suspicion that is overridden by the fact that a very high-ranking nobles on the ship, and they're not going to toss his shit, no matter how suspicious they are.
Did they ever try to touch the body?
They do not. They
Yeah,
they kind of just
it's probably
do their
safer for their
walkthrough
health.
to check off the clipboard.
It's good for their health. They did.
Yeah. It's good for their
Good
health
for their-
and
Good for their
careers.
lunch. Good for their lunch that it didn't either. Call it out, skull rat corpse.
As
You try to
they,
invade them much regardless.
I'm back. What I miss?
there was an attack on Moonwatch by apparently rat folk.
Say the word.
I'm not.
No, not my people. Where are they?
Apparently they were here. No.
No, my
Were there
workforce.
Were there any particular symbols among them?
I will not answer
Did they
that
yell
question.
any names?
So anyway, they doff their shit, and they signal to the people on the other side to open the barrier enough for you to enter. No, I'm not saying it, Shane.
Mold?
You said they doffed the ship.
Yes, I did say doff.
They unequipped the ship.
Perhaps some of these rats have horns? Perhaps snorting a particular green stone?
So
Powder.
as they escort you back through the bubble, you see that the military presence in Moonwatch has been ramped up. Whatever reserves were on loan at other cities seem to have been recalled. Your fort is inside the bubble. Barely.
Oh, thank God.
It is a 5-mile
huge.
radius around the city. So there is a 1-mile stretch between you, your fort, and the other side. Because your fort was 4 miles from the city. The ship flies directly overhead, slowly, to Magrius' estate, where he offers to inter the body and he'll deliver the urn to you shortly. He recommends you might want to go check your fort and make sure it's still there. And you all are, since your horses were kept there, I think, or were they kept at your place? I think they were kept at his place, so they would be fed while you were away.
Maybe.
I think we used it to get there.
We'll say that it was there, and you're riding back on it. The donkeys
Yeah.
survived. That's confirmed. And you are riding back. I'm going to go ahead and move you to the Fort Nix map. Oh, whoops, I forgot to... I forgot to move you all to the map with the... This... I realized... This...
Oh my God.
This was it.
Oh
Someone
my
stream it.
I got
You really chose Weird Al?
I told you some
Or
very
I took it.
base word association.
You could have at least made it the fat world Weird Al increment.
Why would you do this to me, Connor? This is so homophobic.
And the man fat suit weirdo.
Anyways, moving you to Fort Nix. You get there, and your fort looks fine from the front. You enter in to make sure everything's fine, right?
Yeah.
Somebody give me an investigation check if you want to go look and make sure everything's all right.
I would like to check if this helps me at all. I'm specifically going to Dat Rat's room.
investigation, you say?
I am rolling nothing but doubles tonight.
Ooh.
Oh,
Behold my power.
Karen, you actually find the thing I was wondering if people were going to get to. Some of the tunnels in Dat Rat's room seem to have been expanded.
I like to think I just sit there in a fucking horrific mood, and I'm just like, I look down and I see just a photorealistic door with like a warpstone handle. I just stare at it for a few minutes.
Uh,
I just turn around and open the door. Everyone,
Did-
get in here!
So
you look down,
What
and it
happened?
appears
I recall Dat Raht wasn't that big.
you get down, and it is a tight crawl. But I think Karen's mad enough and just been through enough to where he just kind of grunts his way through this tunnel.
Yes.
And when you get there, you find a portion. It drops significantly, and then you see a larger tunnel.
I feel like I shouldn't.
Inside of
No,
which you
no.
hear the sound of Moonwatch Guard, who seemingly have secured the tunnel, quote unquote. But as they were burrowing, somebody's like, "Was there a Skaven already here?" I said the word. You're welcome.
Yes.
Council commands!
You get one. That was it.
Raise the Horde Rat. Anyway. Make that the print token. All
You-
3 pixels.
You reverse your way
The
out.
Council of
somehow.
13 is very happy.
Go ahead and get it out.
You
I'll
did
I'll
this.
summon a rat ogre if you want.
A Roger! Yes, and then we can see how bad they are. The Rogers suck. Moving on.
Shrinkage. Anyway, other than that, your fort seems mostly fine. It was a slight credit to you that you had some rat tunnels below you that made it look like you had already been searched. And you didn't have really anything in here at all to begin with, so nothing was disturbed. It just looked like a mostly empty place. And so you weren't really hit. You do find out, though, after some information gathering, that the slums area, where the non-magical folk tend to live, was hit hard. You do still have a connection down there with Wonder, if you wanted to go check in with her.
Oh yeah, Wonder and the little psychic girl.
That's like a
No,
that's
the
like three
the albino
and a half
tiefling.
hours.
Or no, who's the
I know!
thieving
That's
person
why
who's
I'm
looking
like-
after the kid?
No, because we started at like 9.
Because we had the kid and then
We started, like, why the heck did we?
Yeah.
the old lady.
because the old lady is Wonder and
Yeah.
taking care of the kid.
Yeah, that's what it was. I would actually like to take Dat Raht's body and and then start walking toward the hag's the hag's place, because I already have an idea of how to unfuck this.
Okay. I did say the body was left with Magrius, but you could have requested to take it with you,
Yeah. Yes.
and he would have absolutely given it to you.
If this next idea doesn't work, we can just bury him inside his room.
I went to him immediately, by the way.
Hear me out.
Yeah, I'm gonna sing.
Hold on, this room in that zombie pen.
They heard his stat line. If
By
he
the
gets turned into a
way,
zombie.
was I because I was gone because of the leaving? Was I able to actually
I just
take
feel
one
like
of the
I
robots?
barely had any time to do anything
Oh
At least
yeah,
one.
we
and
did
then
take
we're
we
here.
took some of the robots.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you have the robots.
You carry them. Yeah.
We sadly looted the place. Crying the whole
me-
time.
With grief in your heart, you pilfered
Yes.
mournfully.
I mournfully looted this ancient
We had to be
tomb.
pack rats for Dat Raht.
We didn't have.
Yeah!
You gotta make it up
It
to
was
him.
in his memory.
In his memory, we'll steal from these ancient fucking ruins.
It's what he would have
Yep.
wanted.
It's what yes.
How many of those robots did we get? 3 of them? We destroyed one of them, I
I
think.
think it was 3.
I think 2.
You had the 2 in the hallway, and then you disarmed the third one later.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we
we had the
fucked
2 in the
up.
hallway. We destroyed one of the ones in that other room, and then
Okay.
Silver
I
disabled.
deactivated
Forced
another
evolve.
one.
Alright, so,
So you have 3.
Yeah.
They still have to be like retrofitted with new power sources and stuff, but otherwise, pretty much intact.
Reprogramming.
Yeah.
Let's put 2 magic beans in one and see what happens.
Fuck it. Find out what happens, Karen. But you've got Dat's body. Are you taking the cart back?
Kiri was saying something.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What?
About the rat.
You said or when I was like, let me go see if the hag can do something with this.
Oh no, that was just me
To help
making a joke.
Oh,
Sure. All right. Does anyone want to come
Morgana
with me?
will come with
the hag-
Karen.
Yeah. Because if Divinity can't do this, then some weird voodoo monster probably could. All right. Yeah.
Right.
He's still wrapped up in like a little casket. Just walked over. All right. Knock, knock, knock.
so you when you come to town, you are everyone needs papers, not just okay, you're with them, and you all do have a deed with your names on it that allows you into town. So that, excuse me, that is your ticket in and out.
Right.
And as such, you have citizenship.
We don't pay taxes yet, boys.
For what it is that I have to do later today.
So
Yeah.
Push to talk be like.
Bring me to.
I have her server muted and waiting for her to say she wants to unmute since she said it got stuck.
Yeah, phone Discord can be finicky.
Yeah.
Yes, she wants to unmute. Okay. Sorry.
Myself that.
There you go. You're unmuted.
Let me in.
What?
Right.
Is it let me in?
Yeah, you're in.
Can
I
Tara
guess.
go with us?
Connor's muted.
God damn it!
So you like jazz?
Back.
You like smooth jazz?
So,
Krobik.
Katira, do you think you would have gone with him to Crowbeaks?
Yeah, she would go.
All right.
Now
She's also kind of trying to keep an eye on Karen.
Fair.
Is this suicide orc wash? Just a monk is.
It is now.
Perhaps.
I've got to. Karen's not well. I'm not going to answer that question. We're going to go to Krobik now.
Oh, whoops. Wrong map. This one. You make your way back to Moonwatch and are headed to Crowbeaks. Everyone who comes with, which I'm assuming will be the whole party, counting Dat,
I don't
comes.
think he has much choice.
They do question you why you have a rat body at first, and after a brief bit of explanation, you kind of explain it's for Crowbeak. And they're like, all right.
Another one?
Interesting.
I know better than to ask questions with that response.
You're entirely right.
I see you've got some new labels on the map.
Yeah, these have been here, bud.
No, they're now white and purple.
Yeah, they've been here.
Mm-hmm.
We put them up ages ago.
I don't know anymore.
I know.
It's been the last time we played was ages ago.
So you make your way to Crowbeak's menagerie of trinkets.
It didn't say that on the map card, right?
Tough.
Immersion. It's a good feat. Yep. I used again. Hey, that's not our party token.
What?
Get that out of here. Put it on the map, boy.
If you insist.
My face.
Yeah. It's not Fat Al, but it'll do.
This is a truly the heck moment right now.
That can be rectified after Pyro. Don't worry.
Yeah. I demanded it be Nurglegrin. So I knock on the door.
The door creaks open, and you see Crowbeak in the middle of stitching something together.
Harry just walks in. He's in no mood for Krobik's theatric bullshit.
She has a pair of jeweler's glasses on, and you remember that Crowbeak is blind. So you wonder why. She looks up to you. Weirdos. It's good to see you. I'm a bit busy at the moment. She looks at the body. Is that yours?
Yes.
Oh.
And if you're busy, I'd like to make time.
For my favorite customers, of course. And you see she has what appears to be a collection of rat arms and a few pieces of the heads being stitched together. Just slides them off
Are there
the table.
13 pairs?
You can imagine. She
Okay,
slides it off and
combination.
onto the floor, dusts off the table a little bit. It's still covered in like blood and stuff. What are you looking for? Claps and the door slams shut. Curtains cover it. Sign flips to closed.
I'd like this one back.
Ooh. That is. Ooh. How long ago did he die?
A day,
3.
give or take a few hours.
3
Three.
days.
3
2 days travel. Or 2 days travel when he
days.
died the day.
2 days, give or take 10 hours.
I'm going to have to ask for some trust. I'm doing this on Carrie voice instead of hers, but you'll have to forgive my sickness.
My immersion shattered. She takes off the wig. It's in gear to water.
No. There's nowhere to run now.
Ah!
I have to ask for your trust. I need you to leave the body with me and leave.
If there's a price, I have.
Can we ask what you will be doing before we leave? Yes.
I'll be trying to bring him back, but that will depend entirely upon Dat Raht.
If there's a price, what will it be?
It'll be... Let me look. She starts waddling to the back. I have a few different... that won't work. A few different old contracts for resurrection through the Unseelie. But that won't work. You see she's tossing scrolls from around the corner.
If you need a catalyst, I found something on him.
She pauses and leans back. Go on.
Karen produces a small sack with a doesn't really appear to be anything on there. He pours into his hand, and there's 2 beans.
She holds her hand out.
These were on him when he died, and they smelled definitively of magic.
You put them in her hand?
Sure, why not?
Her fingers immediately coil around and she jerks it back.
See if they burn a hole through her.
She takes a large sniff. She goes,
Cocaine.
ugh. Ugh. Chaos magic. Ugh. Far too unpredictable. No deal. And tosses them back to you.
Alright.
2 separate beans. Just,
Go ahead. Ask me for a dex check as Karen.
I kind of want to.
want you to do this. I want you to screw your own city over as 2 fucking obelisks pop up.
I mean, you have to bury and like water them, so
Yeah.
Well, apparently they worked in just random ass stone, but here we fucking are.
It was soot, but yeah.
It was Connor being a cocksucker.
It was. Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah! So here we
Punishment for
are.
messing with the beans.
There's an Into the Woods joke here somewhere.
I'll blow up your ship again with zombies.
I'll
laugh too.
She continues to rifle through, and she pauses, takes out a piece of paper, and starts writing some things. There's a stipulation. Alright, now we wait and see if they'll accept the terms. This could take a while, and you hear a sudden sound of arcane magic flash on the paper. Or they could be right on it and accept it right away. She turns around and wraps up the scroll. Now I need his body.
I'll leave it on the table.
You're going to want to be out of here for this. You don't want to be caught up in this. Even those of you who have crossed the line of death. Glances at Sankiri.
Alright. I guess we'll be back, what, tomorrow? How long will it take?
I'll let you know when it's done. I'll be honest with you. This is not something I do often. This is the power to pull people from beyond the veil is a strong one. And I only have so many of these unsealed contracts that I've wormed my way into, most of which come with pre-written clauses that exclude certain things from being written on them. The resurrection ones are especially rare, and this one has a certain hitch.
I see one of the contracts. He's scrawled out on their weird script, Merlinic, what do you call? Anyway.
She does have this one rolled up so you all can't read it. You do clock that.
Fair enough. Karen turns around and leaves.
I'll be in touch. Be safe out there. And as you close, if the camera could still see you, her body language drops, suddenly relaxed, and begins to go to work.
Oh shit.
He's getting the Gort treatment. Get him.
Dat Raht. You wake
Hey.
up underwater.
Oh.
You hear the wails of the damned all around you, and you instinctively swim up. A hand reaches down and plucks you from the water. And sets you on what appears to be a boat. You wipe the water from your eyes and look up, and you see a towering figure covered in a dark robe, obscuring most of his form, especially his face. And in his hand he carries not a scythe, but this long... I forget it's basically a long pole with a lantern on the end. Almost like a staff with a lantern atop it. And on the long end, away from the flame, appears to be an oarhead. As this figure looks at you, Dat Raht. This is the name you bore in life.
Yes.
You have died, passed beyond the veil, and now rest upon this boat, crossing the river Styx to the afterlife.
Wait. No. I shouldn't be seeing you. I should be seeing the Great One, the Horned Rat. What kind of cheap knockoff are you?
No. I've died all wrong. Make it right.
It stares at you in silence. You are not the first to believe they understand more about death than I. You will not be the last. As he sticks this staff into the water, it felt impossibly deep to you as you were swimming in it. But it just goes maybe 6 inches in before it seems to hit the bottom of something and begins to row the boat in a direction. I am taking you to the place where your soul will be judged, and it will find its final resting place.
Oh, this isn't going to be good.
I would urge
Can we skip that part? I want to go to the good place.
I would urge you not to dive off the edge of this boat. It is a common urge when people find him taking them to possibly damnation. And he gestures
What if I
to
just
the side.
dangle?
You see the faces of many souls reaching up out of the water, breaking the surface, and then disappearing before more faces take their place. Those who dive in are abandoned by the ferrymen and are damned to spend eternity trapped in purgatory until they are saved.
Why are you talking to the third person? I thought you were the ferryman.
He stares at you. You can't see his eyes, but you can just imagine this figure blinking.
Did for 5 minutes already making The ferryman of death roll his eyes at you.
He reaches up and grabs the front of his cowl and pulls it back. And you see this jackal head looking at you.
Ah, I expected the skull.
My form depends on the person. You are quite an interesting soul. He reaches down and picks you up by the scruff of your neck. It is a shame you wasted your life as you did.
Waste. That's a strong word. Waste. I had
Yes.
fun.
Did you? From my
For
perspective,
the most part.
you lived your life out of fear. Directed all your actions in avoidance of a fear. With that, the tragedy of lives lived like yours is that once you're dead, what life did you live? Now that there is no fear for you to avoid, what is left of you? He drops you
Well,
back in the boat.
if we're speaking about what's left of me, there's nothing left of me because my body's somewhere back wherever the fuck that is, dead. So if you want to get technical, there ain't nothing left. There wasn't anything to begin with when I got down here.
He plunges his staff into the water again and rows harder, and you feel this blazing speed pick up, as if you've shifted to a new spot on the sticks.
I just want to get done with this job as fast as I can and go back to the mausoleum and...
Dear God,
Why is
I
it
wish
always
I could
me?
drown him.
Now, I heard the story about the river here. If I can just dangle off my fucking tail, I become invincible. Yeah.
Wrong river. I do not recommend.
You said it was the river Styx, though.
These stories are myth. You will not become invincible, and that would require your physical body to be dipped in it, not just your... Go ahead, try it, Rose.
Go ahead, fuck it.
How
Fucking
much you
jump
want to
in.
bet he's thinking right now? How much trouble would I be in if I just kicked him off the boat right
I mean, you hear his tone. You think.
Don't touch the poison. Don't touch it. You know what? Fuck it. Just lick it.
No, I think that's what the ferryman's thinking right now.
Yeah. Just fuck it. He'll figure it out. I've given him the legal disclaimer.
Death Incorporated is no longer held liable for any of the preceding or any of the hereafter actions. Have a good afterlife.
Hey, you got any cheese on this boat? See, now you sound like the skull.
Rose hard again. Dad, you see a small mushroom at the bottom of the boat. It wasn't there a second ago.
What's that?
What's what?
You need to fix your boat. It's rotting.
It spreads.
I'm gonna eat one of the mushrooms.
You suddenly feel this shock as you drop to all fours. What?
Bad mushroom. Bad mushroom.
What mushroom? As you see these are starting to grow in a circle around you.
Oh no. No, not the fae. Not the fae. Not the fae.
The circle completes. Everything goes dark. A long, slender figure in a deep purple, form-fitted outfit walks out of the shadows towards you. Probably 8-9-inch ears, deep slate gray skin, piercing
It's
purple
the
eyes.
fae.
Steps out holding a clipboard and a contract. Dat Raht, was it?
Which one did it?
I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
Which one's pulling the fucking strings to get me back?
We'll get there, don't worry. It snaps and you're now sat on a toadstool stool.
Why is it always mushrooms? Why couldn't you use something else?
It's the unseelie court, dear. We have an aesthetic.
Oh, it's the... okay. What do we got?
You see, we have these contracts we have these deals with independent contractors so they can fill in the blanks on certain contracts, and we'll honor them.
It's Crowbeak, isn't it?
We're getting there. God, I can already tell why this fucking Reaper is tired of you. Slams the deal in front of you. Here's your options. You can sign or you can die.
But listen to me first. You only got one opportunity to fuck with the Reaper. If you don't fuck with the Reaper, are you really living? The answer is you're not, because you're already dead.
I respect the hustle. I rescind my earlier hostility. Game respects game. I'm here for it. However, business.
Contract, yeah. Okay. What do we got on the contract?
So, he then proceeds to... It is a long-ass scroll specifying very specific avenues in which your soul will be returned to your body in a way that it can move. You will be returned as a creature type undead with a debt of 20,000 gold pieces and an additional debt of finding 2 coven members within a year for Crowbeak. In addition, you will have a curse placed upon you until the debt is fulfilled, in which case you can have it removed. Until then, it will remain as a side effect of the resurrection. It takes about 25 minutes for this Fae to double speak their way through this contract in a way that leaves you not at all quite understanding what you're doing, but nonetheless, it has been explained to you. They hand over a quill. Decision time. Any questions?
Was it Crowbeak?
Yes, it was Crowbeak. Did you not hear the part where I mentioned...
Listen, you gotta feel me here. You're talking to a rat. You realize how small my brain is?
Yes, I know how pasty the brain is, too. That's why I've got to go and fix it if you sign this. Would you like to sign the contract or not?
Yes, I'll sign the contract.
Then sign it! Sorry. I said I wouldn't get worked up. Go ahead. Slides the quill over.
That is going to slowly sign the contract in Skaven.
Good enough. Jerks it away from you. Snaps. The darkness disappears.
One more question.
It has left. What is the question, though, as you're yelling it to them?
One more question. Can I get one of these mushrooms to throw at someone and sacrifice it to you?
He pauses for a second. No. I'm just
almost got one.
tired of dealing with you. You're sitting there on the boat, and the ferryman has you up by the scruff again.
Oh, hello again.
What were you doing?
Well, you see.
And you slip from his
thing.
fingers.
Oh, damn it.
All right, I gotta head out. Have fun.
Goodbye.
Happy living, sort of.
Bye.
If I slip from fingers, that means I can still talk to him, though, as I'm falling?
Yeah, you're on the base of the boat, but he's losing his ability to grab you.
Okay. So, you see, there's this thing. You know how I was just talking about the mushrooms? Apparently, this whole thing is just one weird acid trip. So I guess I do get to go see the Horned Rat, because you're a fucking joke, and this stupid fucking river is a lie.
He pokes your chest, and you feel your soul gets marked. I cannot stop your resurrection at this point, but it will be harder than next time, and there will be a next time if you follow down this path.
Follow down this path. What other path do I have?
He's just glaring at you.
Glare all you want. Answer the fucking question.
Figure it out, Shad.
Sliding awfully slowly now.
He's just staring at you as you start to slip through the boat. Enjoy what little time you have left, rat thing. I'll be waiting.
Oh, I'll prepare
Unfortunately.
all kinds of questions to ask you when I get back. Don't you worry.
Necromancer
His teeth are
speech.
grit and his head cocks.
Me and you are gonna be best friends.
And with that,
Best friend Sonic
you
and
feel
Tails.
yourself free falling through the veil.
You're too slow.
As you free fall, you see your absolute massacred body has been hand stitched together for the most part. What was
Oh, boy.
left by a crowbeak. Karen did an okay job, but it has been a couple days, and your body's still a little bit fucked up, and she's doing her best to put you back together before your soul gets there. But it's not a great job.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
And as you think that, your soul re-enters your body, and it feels as if it's on fire.
Well, this certainly isn't a very new experience. The pain is the same.
You are screaming in agony.
I want to get my monologue out before I start
ahead.
screaming. No, that was it. That was it.
Oh,
Then the scream.
okay. You said
I imagine
monologue.
there's like there's like a 2-second pause between the end of the speech and the screaming.
Yeah. Just one. Just comically. You eventually start to come down, feeling becoming numb to the pain of existing. As she brings you upright. She floats one of the mirrors in front of you. And your eyes, where the whites of them were, are now charred black. And the colors of your eyes, you now have the purple, where the other colors used to be. I think you had human-esque eyes. Can't remember.
Rat eyes.
Either way,
They were red.
they're black and purple now, reflecting the Seelie deal you made, or the unseelie deal you made. You see there's also a mark branded on your wrist of the unseelie court.
Is it a mushroom?
Yeah.
All right, Krobik. I got this deal with the court. I need a mushroom.
Yep. She holds up the contract she signed, and you sign. What do you mean, a mushroom? Make a deception check.
No, he's not trying to deceive her. He's still on his afterlife high.
Oh.
I want this mushroom so I can send someone else back to the fucking to their court so they can fuck with him instead.
Well,
The fucking the fae that signed the contract with me wouldn't give me one.
Well, she's kind of avoiding saying something at the moment until she eventually gets to. There is someone on the boat now. I couldn't leave it empty. Somebody's riding the boat you were supposed to be on.
I'm sure Death is very glad about that. He was very annoyed with me.
Sure.
Who is it?
Unimportant. Just somebody who owed me a few things and didn't pay up.
If it wasn't someone I know, then I don't care.
Death has made you quite vocal, Dat Raht.
It has. It was kind of like a breath of fresh air. Now breathing hurts though.
Oh, yeah, I probably stitched that a little too tight. I'm sure it'll loosen up over time. You'll be fine.
Okay, that's fine.
So this contract, you were it was explained to you, of course, right?
Sure. I know what I need to do for you, if that's what you're worried about.
Yes.
Yes, I'm aware. The two people. That's some amount of financial money.
20,000.
Yeah.
And you're aware of your mark. She grabs your wrist and turns it to you.
Yes, the mushroom.
Yeah, it messes with your head.
I can tell.
I.e., that's the reminder. Go ahead and change your stat.
That's stupider.
Something like that.
Oh. Oh god. That really
With how
fucked
much
his
he's
stats.
talking, I'm thinking he got smarter.
Negative. Absolutely
Just
negative.
turns around. There's just a chunk of warpstone in it, like stuck there like an axe wound.
I lost many step points.
I will say there's a thing in options where you can put temporary changes to your
Oh, is there?
ability scores. And when you hover over, it'll show the true one, but for number-wise, it'll be kept right. That way you don't have to... That way you'll know what the true number is.
In the attribute options?
It's in the settings on your sheet.
I think I got it.
But, nonetheless, Dat Raht, you stand up. And you once again are in the land of the living. And now we get to the fun part. You all are back at the fort, just waiting for Crowbeak's call. Dat, what do you do after you first come to life, I should say?
Do I have all my stuff on me still?
Party? I'm assuming you would, since your goal was to resurrect
The
him.
the weapons and the beans are not on him.
Oh,
Matter of fact, anything that was in his pack is not on him. It's just his body.
My stuff. My stuff. Did they take my fucking stuff?
it should be back at your base. They did have a couple... Did you fuck with some beans?
I didn't know they were magic beans.
It's chaos magic, buddy. Don't fuck with beans.
I didn't know it came from a hidden vault. I assumed it was jewels.
She pauses, thinking about how you have to plant the beans, and considers that you would plant jewels.
I did not plant the beans. You damn well know that,
I know.
Connor.
Well,
her perspective,
on
you
that note, you tried to eat them. Bear witness, you tried to eat jewels. Then
she looks.
Okay,
She goes,
so you let me finish.
right.
No.
Well,
I thought they were jewels at first, then they were beans, so maybe they were fucking ability enhancing beans. I don't fucking know.
that
They're
is one
beans.
thing they can do if you plant them, but nonetheless, you know what? Have fun with them. Plant both.
No,
See what
no,
goes on.
I don't want them.
Well, good. Your friend Can has them. Before you ask, no, I won't buy them off you. That shit's weird.
I don't want you to buy them off. You have something else I want you to buy off me.
What do you want? me
I don't
to-
have it on me.
Well, come back when you have goods. She snaps and the curtains draw. Or open. And the doors open. They should be waiting for you at your...
Do I spy the sewn together rats?
They're on the floor. Oh, by the way, there was a rat folk attack. You might want this. And she throws a cloak over you. I'd try and sneak out of town if I were you.
Wait. Rat folk attack?
Yeah, from underground, some clans rose up and attacked.
Is there any sigils? Any markings? Anything?
That's all still confidential at the moment.
Don't bullshit me, Crowbeak.
She slides the pile up under her counter. Everything for a price, dear, but you're fresh out of money. And in debt to me, so get out and start working on it. She's just staring at you.
I'm staring right back. If they're the right clan, I can do more than get you 2 people.
We'll talk. Now, do you want me to phone your friends ahead, or do you want to let them know in person that you're back?
I'm gonna look around at my sewn together body. I'll go find them.
I think they went home. I told them it could take a while.
No. Fuck, call them then. Please.
Do you want them to pick you up?
Yes.
Wait out. No, don't wait outside. I don't want you to get stabbed right after I fixed you.
Yeah, red what's puppies.
Stay there.
Would stabbing even hurt at this point?
Want to test that theory? She pulls out a
Kind of,
dagger.
actually.
She stabs you. It hurts.
Ha.
You
It still feels the same, too. You did a good job with the nerves.
You take 2
Balls
points of
over.
damage. Well,
Nice form.
You did a good job with the nerves, Krobeak.
Thank you. Totally my work. You are bleeding on my floor now.
And whose fault is that?
You wanted to know if...
I apologize. I fucked with the Reaper so bad he did not even want me on his boat.
She pulls... She starts to cast Sending. Karen, you get a message.
Oh,
Your rat's back. Come get him. He's annoying and messing up my shop.
there, Karen just about faces. I imagine like walking. I just turn around. All right, let's go get him.
In the midst of your grief, you get an angry call from Krobeak. Just complete tonal shift. Just okay. Does the whole party turn around and trek back?
Morgana's gonna try to see what's wrong with Andariel, but Andariel has said BRB, so it doesn't matter.
And Dariel's still back at the fort.
I
Is
know.
she?
So Morgana's going to keep walking through the fort.
Okay.
Yeah, he said like way back. Let's see, somewhere in chat. Yeah, you put stays in the room, like locks.
Morgan has retreated to her room and stayed put.
Yep.
So, as you pick up Dat Raht,
I literally pick up Dat Raht. Like, right? I pick him up.
I can walk.
I put him in my coat, like
He-
a cultural, and I walk away. Imagine I'm wearing a big coat now that has a pocket.
He's just doing the cartoon sack, like resisting, where his arms and shit are like punching out of it, but not actually. He's just
Yeah.
doing that in his coat.
And he's going to walk like this, keep him in the bag, all the way back to the fort. He's going to walk into his room, and he's going to like point him at the bigger hole. This is now your problem.
Brothers, down to the hole.
you dive into the one where the Moonwatch guards are patrolling.
Wait, they're down in the fort holes?
I tell them that yes, the Moonwatch are in the
So there is a
system.
larger tunnel, almost looking like a boring machine or a whole lot of rats, dug a large tunnel this way.
Oh
and
god,
then
it's
retreated
Scryer then. Scryer
Then, when the bubble went up, the Moonwatch guards are guarding the tunnel so the rats can't just charge back up. Your rat tunnels connect to them at a certain point.
I didn't dig these.
So you're kind of looking down on seeing some Moonwatch guards waiting for a rat to pop up for them to stab. Are you? I'm assuming you don't want to drop in.
Heh.
Don't. Not. I can resurrect you myself this time, fucker. And I'll beat the shit out of you when I get you back.
Karen,
What?
where's my shit?
See, I've got your bag right here with most of your stuff here. I've got some beans here. I'm not giving you back the beans.
Keep the beans.
Here's your entire inventory.
Dump,
Yes.
dump. By the way, the obsidian statue, which I think is what you're looking for, Karen, or Dat.
Correct.
Where would the party have wanted to put the body of the magmatic guardian? Because Debo would have dropped it off at your place before taking you all.
Oh, God.
I'd imagine in that thing we were designating as like a warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is
Can
then.
we go back to the map then?
Yee. Back in Fort Nix. In F, I'm assuming?
Probably in D.
In D, alright. It is put in.
It's like I don't see us moving that thing very far, so
Yeah. I'm
What
just gonna.
does the mods mean? Large, medium, small?
Just the space it has to put stuff in there. I have some examples on the handout.
Oh.
I see.
That had the head. because he ripped the head off her.
Yeah.
As she
You have
died.
like the bust of it.
Yes.
Talks were had of whether or not you were going to turn it into a like a trophy and put it in a trophy room. But what would you like to do with it, Dat?
For now, it's staying on his person.
Interesting.
No, I was looking for the other thing that's at the bottom of my inventory.
Opening your sheet. Characters, Dat. Yes, you have the trace amounts of it in a bottle still.
Okay. Actually, wait a minute. Hey, since we were the governor's guards, didn't we get some kind of insignia or something?
What do you mean? Like
We have a deed.
you have paperwork that says you're citizens living in this fort.
Where are your papers? Where your papier?
Oh, when we were doing the governor's guard thing, didn't we get some kind of like? I thought we got
Those were-
something to show proof we were actually the governor's guards.
Those were for that job. I think she took those
Yeah.
back.
Those
Is
those were saying from this date to this date we were on a job to guard her,
Yeah.
etc.
Okay.
Temporary papier.
Never mind then. Someone else can take over. I have antibodies.
I was mainly waiting for Morgana to get back from her water to have her talk with Andariel.
Oh god.
Oh, I have an idea while they wait.
Yeah, so do I. It actually involves you too.
Oh, good. Valkyrie first. What do you like to do?
That night, Zunkiri is going to go find Cairn.
Oh god, that's find Karen.
What a fearful sentence. I'm going to go find someone. What do you do when you find him?
I just want to have a chat with him.
Karen, would you say you're in your room?
He is, and to describe the scene, if you, I assume you just go in because you can just unlock his door.
No, he actually knocked. Bang, bang, bang.
The bell tolls, and the bell tolls for you, old man. You hear an affirmative come in.
Zunkiri will open the door and make his way inside.
You see a large wooden chair just accommodating Cairn, just staring at this altar. He's just in deep thought staring at it.
Find something of interest?
Somewhat. These were on Dat Raht, and they radiated magic. I have no need for them. Got them?
Zunkiri will cast Identify over them and try to figure out what they are.
You identify them as two beans from a bag of beans.
Chaos beads.
Ugh.
Coas. Hey, Liv.
Now, whether I use them or not, these things need to be isolated. Last thing we need is a pyramid destroying this town.
Do what you want, God Eater.
Who told you about? Never mind.
Well, we did spend some time where your doppelganger chased me across the entirety of the dungeon.
Oh, yes. How did that go? Surprised you're alive.
Karen, the minute you look away and look back, Karen now has a bag of cigarettes. not a card, a bag of orc-sized cigarettes. It is perhaps the most terrifying thing I've ever dealt with. I've had literal brushes with old age and heart attacks that were less terrifying.
Aw, thank you.
It struck It struck me with such terror and spiritual indignation that I've lost my faith. How are you?
Why does this always happen?
He doesn't even register that. He just turns back to look at the shrine.
Just think with how much you profess faith, it'd be a little more resilient.
Well, when you profess to run around as a very unorthodox and disturbingly strong necromancer, and then seeing what you probably used to be like, takes another drag of the cigarette. I'm not used to those methods of power.
I told you about all of that.
Yeah, and I didn't believe you.
I'm not. I don't lie.
Yes, but I talk to crazy people all the time.
Fair enough. I suppose that might answer the question I had for you then.
Glad I could help.
Very well. Well, in that case, I have some other business needs attending to. If you don't mind.
Bye.
Bunkery will turn and go.
As he leaves, Karen, I would like to note that the shrine you have there is no longer anointed.
I assumed.
Is there anything you are doing specifically as you sit there? Canonically, you could have like dropped a couple silver to get a roll of tobacco to literally have a cigarette to drag on.
Yep. I'll just spend 8 silver worth of to get as many cigarettes as I can.
You got a box of like
Yep.
50.
Yeah, just staring at it, thinking. Wonder what he's gonna do now. He's technically just a werebear now. Can I have my resistance to non-magical
No.
damage? Yeah, so he's just sitting there staring at it, just idly talking to the empty space around him.
You sit and just mull over what your
Hoping.
faith has been, and now in the absence of it, wonder who you are. And we're going to cut over to Andariel and Morgana. Earlier in the night, before Dad even had come back, Andariel, you had stayed in the fort. What were you up to?
Nothing. She was literally just sitting in her room staring at her hands.
You do eventually hear from Giasa. I can't remember. Did Giasa talk to you during the dungeon or not?
No.
That's what I thought. That might have been the case. She reaches out to you. Hey, it's been a minute. How have you been?
One of my traveling companions died.
What?
The rat. Dat. He died.
Oh no.
I accused Morgana of killing him.
Oh.
I don't think she did, now that I've had time to think. But I definitely did.
Is she around?
I don't know. As soon as we got back, I came to my room and I've stayed in here.
I'm sorry I wasn't there. I was
You have other things to do. I understand that.
Yeah, I just I'll try and make more time to be present.
Thank you. But I don't know if I can keep doing this.
Keep doing what?
She kind of waves her hands around. all of this, I keep running from place to place. I stayed for a while because I felt safe there. I don't feel safe here. That part of me that tells me to run is telling me to run.
Where would you want to go?
I do not know. But I don't want to leave. But everything is telling me to leave.
Well, this is gonna come off ironic from an elemental of air, but planting your roots, even though things are getting a little shaky, doesn't sound all that bad. Sounds a little healthy. Which I realize the irony that I'm not recommending you just hop up and fly away. It's not lost on me. Um, but if you want to run, like I've always said, I'll be there with you. You can run to the edge of the earths, and I'll be right beside you.
I don't know. We just found some stuff that's worth a decent amount of money. I'm definitely staying around to ensure I get my part of the money for that. We found these interesting automatons that I definitely want to poke at.
Mm-hmm.
Druid, they're mine.
But I honestly don't feel like I'm much of a use for the group either.
Why is that?
Everything I do, Zenkiri does better.
Is that a good thing?
No, that's a bad thing. That's why I'm thinking of leaving.
No, I'm
They
saying
don't really need me.
I don't think that's true.
He also says I'm a bad influence on Morgana.
It's because Sankiri's an asshole. I've heard him.
Yeah, I think he's an asshole too, but part of me believes he's right. I was making decisions for her. I shouldn't have been doing that.
Well, have you talked to her about it?
No,
I think you should. No matter what you decide, you need to at least talk about things with her.
I don't
For,
know if she's even here right now.
you stop and listen for a second. The fort sounds empty. You don't hear any
Yeah.
stirring.
Oh, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
At least I hope there will be.
Well, I'm sorry that
I'm
dungeon
not
didn't
much of an
work out.
adventurer, am I?
Well, you survived a few adventures. I think that makes you an adventurer. I think
Yeah.
surviving's the hard part. Oh, sorry, forgot about your friend. That feels like at a poor taste.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I never said I was good at these kind of pep talks. I'm doing my
Yeah.
best here.
I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure Karn's doing something incredibly stupid right now, which is why I stayed.
You wouldn't be that far off.
What do you think he's doing?
Oh, I imagine making a deal with someone to bring him back to life that's going to negatively affect everyone.
Ugh. It does sound bad.
Yeah.
Well, do you know who he's... Well...
Well, there's a
I know what I
church
can
in
do.
town.
If they're going to have a deal to bring him back, who's better at wording wishes than genies? Let me look over it, and I'll make sure there's nothing weird about it.
Fucking me.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, let's go see if they're still here. We can flag them down.
Yeah, let's.
You
She'll
step
stand
out.
up. And
I
I have all my
should've let
spell
Morgana
slots
do
back,
this.
so I'm just gonna dimension door to the front of the
I
keep.
should have let Morgana drag his ass.
You see on the
to
horizon
Kobe.
the cart
No
driving away.
ability.
I didn't
No
know
clue.
Pandora was staying back until we had already been there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
You
I
see the
should have
cart
had
on the
the
horizon.
Morgana carry him. I swear to you, this is now gonna be bullshit. I had no involvement other than bringing him to Krovik. This is fucking bullshit. No one say a word. We all
At the front
collectively.
of the gate, watching the wagon slowly pull away. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to catch them.
Well,
Well, I'll
We
just
tried.
stay here. Yeah.
We all, as a team, decided this. I had no
I hope they at least
authority.
are smart enough to get a copy of the contract for themselves.
of course.
As she starts
Everyone-
walking back into her room to start reading a book until everyone gets back.
We all, as a
Did
party,
I actually go?
I assumed.
we all collectively decided to take him to Krovik's, right? Yes, yes.
oh god, I was just following. She felt that
I
she didn't
mean-
want to make any choices.
I was probably too busy with the automatons.
No.
I would
That's
also
actually
think
probably
taking
fitting
her
that
to
you were.
Crowbeak.
Please don't abandon me. Take some of the blame.
That
please.
actually does track because you've been very adamant about making deals with the nefarious forces. So I feel like you're probably in like one of these empty warehouse places starting to pull apart these robots.
I'm feeling.
And
comfortable
halfway
right
to
now.
her room, she's gonna go, robots. And then start walking towards the robots.
You hear clang, clang in the distance. Oh, right.
Silver has all three of them up on a table, starting to look them over.
Hi.
Actually, I have one on a pedestal inside my room
Oh,
with the art design.
Oh,
interesting.
Remember,
Were
I
you
have the art
working on it from
table.
there?
Remember, I have an art table and a pedestal. I
That's
bought
right.
those.
So you have it in there and you're starting to do your work on it. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't find the robots, and I can't find anyone.
Your rooms are actually right next to each other too.
You're right next to each other. You probably heard
Dude,
the
you're
clanking.
drawing. That does not make noise. Are you sketching, or are you actually taking them apart?
I'm taking them apart and sketching, seeing where everything is.
Oh, you're making
All
the
right.
blueprints.
He's making.
You will hear a knock, knock, knock on your door.
I open the door. Hello. Hi.
Mm,
Doing good?
Leans to the side, looking over your shoulder, playing with the robots.
A bit. Trying to blueprint them, seeing if I can't mass produce them later on.
Would you like some assistance?
Sure, but aren't you worried about Morgana? Where is Morgana? She is usually with you.
She went to town with Karn and the others to make bad decisions. I didn't want to get involved, and I didn't want to
Sorry.
force my opinion upon anyone, so I just stayed home.
With Dat Raht's death, I just kind of focused on this.
Everyone
my
deals with
head
death
spared.
in their own way.
Well, I think I could have a helping hand if you want to come in.
Definitely. She will pull out a notebook and start assisting.
If you all would like to actually make me Arcana checks to understand what you're looking at here.
Would you like advantage, or would you like, or do we have to roll them separately?
It's up to you
Connor.
two. You can either do
I
one
got a
advantage or two
+7.
separate.
Is it possible for me to do also an engineering check just because?
Yeah, I'll say that. In engineering instead of
You
Arcana.
could say you're doing the Arcana for all the magical stuff. I'm doing engineering for all the mechanical.
Yep.
And don't forget
She
you have
got
Flash of Genius, which does work on yourself, I believe.
But
Yes.
have I rested already?
Yes, this is
Yeah.
days later.
Yeah. And I'll do one Flash of Genius for myself.
Giving you a
Which
total of
at-
27?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 27?
Is it a plus? What's your int score?
You're in.
What's your
Oh.
int modifier?
Plus 4.
So it's a
So
26.
26.
And you have 3 more uses of it
Yep.
Today.
today. For
Today.
long rest.
Broken fucking skill.
I love it so goddamn much, but it is unbelievably broken. Yes, I'm looking at you, Pyro. I do not apologize for the monstrosity that I did with Jace. Moving on. With 21 and a 26, you all have some vivid blueprints. You, Silver, you haven't... Pulling apart every part of these isn't necessary. You understand what the major systems in them are and how they need to communicate. You don't have to draw every solenoid and motor that's in here to know that there needs to be a combination of solenoids and motors to make this arm move in such a way that it does this. And you have that copied down on this blueprint. All you were missing was how to get essentially the electrician's work done on how to wire the magic in certain places, have it actuate in specific ways, and Daryl has that covered for you. With her 21, she just goes to work, and for you, Andariel, it's not basic rune work. There's some complex work, but you've done jotting down rune work and transcribing these things for a large portion of your life. So it's not new ground that you're breaking, and you just start to get into it. It's a little rough at first, and then you start cooking with gas, and you all finish up, and you have what feels like as good as it could get, a blueprint on how these things work and how you could power them and fix their parts.
Nice.
Nice. As I'm looking through the blueprints, I wonder what I could modify. Maybe I could make Morgana a sister.
Oh, yes. Wait,
Andariel knows
with the wording on it, it's a little sus, but please do.
And Ariel's gonna actually. Did you say that out loud?
I did actually kind of say that out loud.
And Daryl's gonna go. I don't really think Morgana's always been a Warforged.
Really? Is it because of the Mr. Professor that you dragged her away from?
No, I had that feeling beforehand. I've seen automatons before. I've heard and read about plenty of Warforged. She didn't strike me as one. Not completely, at least.
Not completely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something was a bit off with her. I could understand that.
Yeah. But I'm interested. That's why she holds up her book. I've taken notes, but it is definitely beyond my scope of expertise. We will probably have to find the professor man in order to figure it out, if he's even still alive. Did you see what happened to him?
No. Sadly, after you ran
Yes,
off
about that.
with...
Sorry about just ditching you.
Yeah. I don't think you even noticed that Mr. Sin Devil appeared in front of me, and I missed my
he was
shot. Yes.
Oh. No, I did not notice that in the least.
Yeah.
Again, sorry.
I literally ran after he appeared, then I guess evil doppelganger appeared. Which, now that's gonna be a big problem. Maybe I'll make this army to fight against him.
Evil doppelganger?
Did you not
Did you-
see?
I
Did you
was
not-
kind of spacing out the entire
Uh-oh.
ride back.
You did
Evil
not...
doppelganger of who?
Who do you think is... Think of the most evil person in our group right now.
Shit. But wouldn't
And
an evil
think of him-
doppelganger of an evil person be a good person?
Technically, this is a no filter, from what I'm understanding. A no filter evil.
Well, shit.
Arzan Curie is the good guy. That's all we're gonna say.
Well, double shit.
So yeah,
We don't know.
preparing for the apocalypse. I think I have to tell my father there's a class 5 running loose.
Hey, we have to consider Arzan Curry the good one. We're fucked.
Threat
Yeah,
level god.
Okay, so we're gonna
world
have to stick
destroying. Yeah,
an evil creature upon an evil creature. I guess that's one use for them.
Let them
Well,
Yeah.
shit. I can't
Maybe-
leave now.
maybe they'll cancel each other out in the process.
Yes, I suppose.
Have them collide.
And the
with
scene
Bush
closes on Endale just going, shit.
So, Fergus, you ever been in a campaign where Zinkiri's eating his own soul? Fucking find out.
I bet. Honestly, I think he has.
Answer the question. Answer the question, creature.
Actually, yes. This isn't the first evil quote unquote
Fuck off.
doppelganger he's had. There was a time when we got sucked into like the mirror dimension,
Mhm.
and everybody had to face off against like an
Their
alternate,
opposite.
like a reflection of their worst traits.
Let's see.
So like the paladin, like her anger and stuff was there. The cleric's willingness to let bad things happen, his sloth had come out. All of us had turned, like all of the copies had been like horrifying monster versions of them.
Please tell me it was just the exact same.
Just be Zinkiri in a bunny suit.
No. See, here's what happened. If you don't mind me telling this, Connor.
Go ahead.
This is a nice break time anyway.
Everybody woke up in the mirror dimension except for Zonkiri, who was already there. Like he was the quote unquote first to wake up. But it was never explicitly said that he woke up there. And that became important because after we went through everybody, killing everybody's inner demons, which they were separated out in like this kind of wheel. Like we woke up in the center and we had to like go to each person's area of the mirror dimension. The one we went to last was Zonkiri's. And when we got there, Zonkiri was there, just completely himself. He's absolutely normal. Like no distinction from the one that had woken up in the middle with them. And they started talking to it like, oh, of course it's just Zonkiri. And the two of them, the two Zonkiri started talking to each other, and after a while it became apparent because Zonkiri started the mirror Zonkiri started talking to them about how like, yeah, I'm not entirely certain what's going on here, but I woke up a couple of hours ago. None of you were responsive, so I set out to try to see what was around here, and I found this cool place. And like, he starts showing them around like the twisted mirror version of his like tower.
So
And
the mirror Zonkiri was helping them kill their
yeah, because
doppelgangers.
they didn't realize he wasn't the real Zonkiri. He was the mirror one that had wandered over trying to figure out what was going on. And like throughout the whole course of it, they lost track of who was who. and they're like, okay, well, that means we have to kill one of you. And one of the Zonkiri says, all right, well, in that case, and before he could even finish, the quote-unquote real Zonkiri had already turned, like, was disintegrating him. And that's when they figured out who was the real one.
Zonkiri's worst quality was having honor.
There's a camera. There's a
No,
Zankiri to log it.
his worst quality was his need for showmanship.
Oh.
Are you fucking...
So, like, the mirror version of him wanted to make a spectacle of it, like a
It's
duel.
literally presentation.
The non-mirror version of him was just like, oh, one of us has to die. Psst, you're dead. I'm not taking that chance. If I actually have to fight me, I'm bringing the big guns.
So you caught him before he tried to monologue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I caught him mid-monologue.
You sly dog.
Well, with that, I think, like Ekparo said, this would be a great place for a 15-minute break.
Yeah.
I thought that was part of the break.
Yeah, you sly dog. You cut me monologue.
I was going to start it now, but because easy times. But
Do
We'll
it.
be back here in like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Don't.
And welcome back from break. So you all are, here's a refresher on screen of everybody's loot. I believe this was already divvied up, except for you, Dat. You definitely were not given a slice. Oh no, you should have gotten one because you grabbed the beans
I
while
don't
you were
think
getting.
it was divvied up because
It wasn't
all
was
that
not. It
happened
was
first.
not divvied up.
Then
Yeah.
there's a
I think
bag
we
with
were
all these
busy.
coins yet to be split.
I think this was immediately like this, like right before. So, Dad, you have beans, and then that.
Okay, so somebody grabbed a bag of the coins and it's now being sorted and distributed
Why don't
for
we
all of you.
just put it in? Don't we have a vault?
Yeah.
It seems like a lot.
Don't we?
Why don't you just have this be like the party fund for now?
Oh. How many of us are
I
getting
have
paid?
a debt to repay.
How
I
many
need money to build a robot.
We should have put out a life insurance on Dad.
am I dividing this by 6, 7, or 8?
I don't even think I wanted to find.
I'm already starting to divide them all by 7.
If you divide it by 8 and you just have one portion of every job go to be the emergency fund, that makes it easy.
Okay.
Yeah, do 8.
All right. Everyone add 520.
Gold.
Nice round number.
It's not. I'm adding the extra to the party fund.
Oh.
Say 520 gold.
It's actually 500, 21 gold, and 2 silver and 5 copper.
520 does.
Okay, that is 2,082 gold for
Yeah.
me.
Dr.
The
Bank
party
out
fund.
here.
A party fund would be nice. The main gold should go to the people, but the other stuff I almost would just put in the
Did you count selling the gemstones? Or are we holding on to the gemstones?
I think we'll hold on to the gemstones just for right now.
Yeah, we might use them for shit. Who knows?
You do have a vault. I don't remember in which building it's
Yeah.
It should be in. I think it's toward the back of either C or D.
I think it's in the back of
Probably
D.
up by C. Where the most protective area it is.
It's also next to our rooms.
It was somewhere that was already installed. Remember that.
Where was it?
I think it was installed in the warehouse.
I think
Maybe.
it was because the
Then I
other
guess
guy
we
used
put-
this
we-
as
we-
office.
I
stuff.
guess we just put the warehouse, the fucking statue in our vault. There we go.
Yeah.
Can we get permission to edit Fort Nix so we can actually put the stuff in there?
Oh, I didn't realize you didn't have that permission.
None of us do.
Can be edited by all players. There we go. There you go.
Yay.
I nominate you as treasurer because I can't do about it. And besides, I'm the last person doing math. All right.
So you settle out with about 500 gold richer each. Did anybody ever want to do something with that statue of old General Timbani?
Not really.
Old what?
The guy who owned the fort before us.
But not even before you, like the guy who founded the fort.
Or the founded fort. I'm so sorry, Saya.
I actually say the statue was defaced when you got back.
Was it made of any good
Bummer.
materials?
No.
Then
Is
fuck
there a face of the person?
No, I'm saying like it
Anywhere
was
else?
fine when you left for your adventure, and the rats who came by apparently defaced it.
if we break it, is there something inside of it, like a Cadbury cube?
Find out.
We have no real use for it. Might as well
That's it.
use it for just building materials.
Do it.
Smash it.
You smash it?
Don't smash it. Do not fucking smash the historic statue. We could sell that to a museum.
It's already fucked.
It could be restored.
All right, but before I kill Dad again, what do we want to do with the statue?
I guess we'll just leave it where it is. It's taking up a little space, but nothing that.
I mean, how badly defaced is it, Connor?
I mean, it's covered in like rat shit, and like there's scratches and like essentially
Defaced
spray
by
paint on it.
Skaven.
Yes.
Is that a power washer?
Yeah, fuck it, break it open.
If you recall, he was. I think he helped rout. They said he helped rout attackers on Moonwatch, and that was where he got his pride. So you have a feeling they may have been caught up in that routing. But yeah, you smash it open, and it is just a statue.
Yeah, then we just move the stone over to the
Yeah.
side, and we need stone. We get stone now.
There you go. You get chunks of stone.
Yeah.
We have ammo for any catapults we get in the future.
Or if someone tries to go up on a ladder, we could just drop a piece on them.
Yes.
Perfectly viable.
So, the statue base I'll say is still there in case you wanted to put something there.
We'll
But
put a statue of Zankiri there as a
he'll
symbol.
eventually
of
get
the
fabricated. He can make it work.
I already have fabricate.
Matter of fact, here's your material.
God, imagine you wake up one day and it's just the statue of Zonkiri there. And you're like, hang on.
That's a weird pose for you if your arm on that there, Zankiri. What's that supposed to mean?
It's just gonna be Zankiri sitting on a throne of skulls.
Pretty weird giving Zankiri that kind of mustache, but it has a certain flair to it.
All right, fuckers.
Yeah.
So, dawn has broken. The party is alive. That's more that could be said than last night. What are you up to?
Yeah, just sitting in his room.
I'm the bug in Dario.
Zonkiri is contacting the governess.
Okay. You three who just said you had plans, roll a d20. Highest goes first.
8
Yeah.
gold.
That was also going to be going through his tunnels.
Roll a d20. Essentially narrative initiative. Karen, is there anything you were going to do or just Saul?
I told you, I have nothing to do right now. I'm just
Okay.
figuring out what I'm going to do with Karen.
Okay.
So just mulling over it.
Narrative.
So Morgana first.
Damn, I didn't even roll good.
So, you decided you want to go fuck with Andario. Or Baller, rather.
Well, don't rule that out.
Get 3 inches on the door. You know where her room is. You can go knock at any time.
Knock, knock.
Only the Dorito does.
No.
And Daryl will pop open the door. Oh, hi.
Hello, Andario.
Morgana. She'll move to the side and walk in. You can follow if you wish.
She hesitates for a moment and then puts her glaive outside at the door. And then walks in.
What's up?
We wanted to check on you.
Check on me for what?
This is probably as much you've seen Morgana have like nervous features. She's kind of like looking around, tapping her fingers. We haven't done much but process what had happened in the dungeon.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I didn't stop to think when I saw what I saw.
It is all right. What you had seen made perfectly logical sense. But we had lost our composure for a variety of reasons.
Man?
That was one of them. One of our creators.
Do you remember him?
We do not remember much detail about him. We had recovered lost memory about him. He was watching us while we were inside some capsule. We do not know why he arrived from the creatures we had faced.
Yeah, I'm not entirely clear on it either. I'm not sure what was going on.
We did not like seeing him, but we did not want to destroy him. We thought maybe we could get answers, but that time is past.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looked like you were not doing well, so I took you away.
Thank
I was
you.
trying to protect you.
We appreciate the assistance. We were not in much state to be defending anything. We had tried to use a new protocol. It was defective. We had to shut it off, and it disabled our combat ability.
Oh. You can't fight anymore? Or was that just temporary?
Thankfully, it is temporary. We
Okay.
have disabled it for now in efforts to revamp it.
How are you feeling?
We are not much of a defender. One of our allies is dead, or was dead, and to pay a great price to change such. Had we done our job, it would not be the case.
You can't blame yourself for that. He ran off on his own. I mean, you're quick, and I wasn't far behind you. He was dead before I got there. Was he dead before you got there?
He had died in front of me.
It still doesn't really change it that he ran off on his own. You did what you could to get to him as fast as possible. If I would have known exactly where he was at the time, I could have dimension doored us to him, but I didn't. You can't blame yourself for his death.
We thank you for helping us and for kind words.
You're welcome. Morgana, him dying was not your fault. It was nobody's fault, other than whatever it was that killed him.
He'll look back at the door, kind of where she left the glaive at, and look back at Andariel.
No matter how good, how powerful, or how hard you try, you will not be able to always protect everyone. It's impossible. You can only do your best. Do what you can.
She'll nod. We will try.
You will succeed.
He still looks a little nervous.
What is the matter?
We want. We. She kind of staggers over her words. Our protocol. We didn't like it.
What did it try to do?
It said that you were an enemy.
I am not.
We
I definitely am not.
we know. That is why we disabled it. It had to have been defective.
Perhaps. I mean, it's good that you were able to disable it on your own.
And Dario,
Yeah.
what if we couldn't?
What if? What ifs are kind of pointless. It didn't happen. You were able to. No reason to dwell upon it.
We don't want to hurt you.
I don't want you to hurt me. I
She kind
don't
of
want to
falls
hurt
to the
you.
ground.
What?
She falls to the ground and
She
is like
will kind
sitting.
of move forward to hold you. Oh, it's okay.
We're supposed to protect you and them.
And you do. You
We
protect
will.
us,
We will try harder. We will be more careful.
and I will be there for you. I will do what I can to protect you as well. Just as they should be doing everything to protect everyone. We need to work as a group. She kind of looks off to the side, gets a look on her face of, well, shit.
Does that mean she's gonna protect Zankiri?
That thought ran through her head.
Like, well, damn. Accidentally said that.
Well, we just need to work together. We need to impress upon our newly revived friend that running off on his own, especially in a dungeon, is a terrible idea, and that he should stay with us. We should stay together, all of us. We work better that way.
Morgana will nod. And then kind of stand up to collect herself
You don't have
and think about what you said for a moment. And then she's going to just grab you and pull you really close.
You will hug back with
Hmm.
all of her strength.
4.
All of her four.
All 4 strengths.
You
Here,
feel all 4
how
points.
tight is this fucking hug?
Uh-oh.
It's average.
That's exceptional for her.
That is fucking exceptional.
I
It
want
would
to
have
see if
been better
Morgana
if they're
notices that you're trying to squeeze as hard as you can. I think she does.
And Daryl will not let go until you make the motion to let go.
Bless.
Morgana will just hold you for a while. If you are this close, we can protect you better.
I will attempt to stay very close then.
How badly are you blushing right now, Andariel?
She actually has color in her cheeks.
First
You're
time.
the boob candle now.
I would like a stealth check to hide this fact from Morgana.
Oh! Fuck, her ears are red too then.
Her horns are even glowing.
Just Shane, just out of curiosity, what's your perception modifier?
+4.
Go
It's
ahead and roll
impossible
it.
for me to fail that.
I just want to see. Yeah. Yeah.
Morgana will notice that and sort of like holding you a little bit like less right up on her. She will squat down so that you're face to face, like that, like an inch apart. Are you feeling sick again?
Hi. No, I am quite okay. Just a little warm. Little warm.
All right, no thoughts. She will
I'm
bonk
okay,
her
I
forehead on
promise.
yours.
Oh, yeah.
You are right face to face. You are exceeding regular temperature. Do you need to cool down?
I'm okay. Tiefling, we run hot.
We will record this. We did not know.
I'm okay. Let me check something here. Let's go with boink.
Oh, even me in the other room right beside you is being on the wall saying, "Get a room."
It is in a room.
Move down the hall. I'm tired of hearing
It's
it.
precisely arcane locked for this reason.
Okay, I'm sure we have things to do today.
You feel no words from Giasa, but just essentially a wink when you say, "We have things to do." Wink, wink.
You shut up, you.
She squints her eyes a little bit.
Talking to Giasa. She's running her mouth.
What? Holy. Kenshiba, god of the horny bat?
What the fuck?
The donk bat.
Jesus, Spyro.
When you say running her mouth, she looks at your mouth. What do you mean running? And she's gonna put her fingers on your mouth.
Talking. And she will lean in for a kiss.
I was just typing out the
Yep.
Giasa was gonna head out for a sec. Well, Morgana?
Morgana will do it.
It's happened. Everybody mark the calendars.
Next scene.
Fireworks going off in the room. Silver is just going.
And we'll see you again next
Liv
week.
is gonna be furious.
The window's closed.
Maybe instead of a sister, I shall make her a daughter.
I think they got that covered.
Oh boy. And the door just creaks shut. So, moving on to Kiri, what he's been up to.
Total shift. Do it now.
Complete and utter.
Phrasing.
You said utter. So yeah, Zunkiri will be requesting a meeting with the
Countess.
Duchess of Moonwatch
Mm-hmm.
for business purposes.
Oh boy. You sending this like sending? Or
No, he'll go through official channels.
okay. You write the letter and it's carried out. You'll get a response in probably a couple days if it's just normal response. You watch the carrier take it away in the morning. Is there anything specifically you want to try and add in the subtext of this letter? I mean, obviously, when you say business purposes, I think I know what you're going at. But is there any other kind of secret message you're trying to send?
No, he is just trying to set up avenues to sell off as much of this obsidian as inhumanly possible. What do you think he meant?
I thought you were going to try and like offer your services to help build an army for Moonwatch.
Oh. I mean, I could certainly help fund one.
Well, yeah. That was that it? All you want to do is start opening that line?
Yep.
And then that is Dat Raht. Domothy.
Timothy Jones.
Radis. He's muted. He probably didn't think it was gonna be that fast.
While he's doing that, could I go buy like a keg of ale?
Sure, we'll say a gold for a keg.
Smoking and drinking, you've gone off the deep end.
He'll buy 3.
Wait, hold on. Don't we have a alchemy jug?
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
You know what? That's right. How much can this thing make?
A lot, several gallons.
Oh yeah. Karen's he has the alchemy jug. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. It can make 4 gallons of beer. Similarly, I'll say ale.
You big drinking.
4 gallons. Yeesh. Or a gallon of wine. But it can only make 1 type of liquid per day.
He's getting shit.
We see him the next day.
Nope.
Death by alcohol poisoning.
Just put all the excess in a barrel.
Does it?
He is the barrel.
It does not.
It does not. You can just keep pouring it. It'll keep spawning. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
That feels abusable when you start making acid and poison.
The amounts of acid and poison it makes are incredibly small.
Yeah, but if you had like a month of downtime, that's a lot. Well, I guess if you had like a month, you could refill one acid trap or something.
Give me a month just alone. I'll make that piddling amount look piddling.
So yeah, you all don't hear from Karen for the day. Well, you probably hear Karen, but he doesn't leave his room.
I hear sea chanties and a drunk sailor.
Oh well, you're trying to do some work. I imagine.
Get something done here.
I imagine, Silver. By the way, you have some parchment and things that you can actually send a letter to your folks if you choose to inform them of the Talagith situation.
Tell her what?
Telling them about
Sanctuary
Zarkir.
Talakith.
Doomsday Man.
If you wanted to, you could write them a letter like you said you were. I didn't know if you were joking or if you actually wanted to send them a letter telling them, hey.
Is that how you say it?
Oh, I'm probably gonna bring it up to the group if they want to go to the next island over. Just so we could deliver the thing that we've been having for a month that's in our pockets.
The scroll.
The scroll.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten my money from that job. So
They ordered
plus
Elder
they want
Spears.
plus they want to see me.
They do. They keep trying to reach out.
I know reach you about your car's extended warranty.
In a less nice way.
No, I think his family's trying to get him to go home.
Yeah, they're like, can you deport him? Can you send him back? Like,
that would probably be Silver's mother. Yeah.
family. It comes from a nice place, but the execution is poor.
Daddy's money.
So yeah. Whose turn was it?
We were kind of killing time for Dat. And after he's done his thing, I was going to wrap the session because it seemed like a nice stopping place as you all were starting to...
Oh, that was just clearing out his tunnels.
Oh. You clear them out and redirect to avoid the big one, and you continue your burrowing.
That was pretty much it.
Connor.
Yes?
No one says anything. Karen has something he wants to do while he's shit-faced drunk.
Go for it.
Because Karen doesn't particularly drink, given his natural paranoia.
Yeah.
So the one other time he drank was when he was having such a bad time. Yeah, we're doing that again.
Uh-oh.
Except he didn't have any spell slots this time, so we can't turn it off.
Oh, no.
Remind me some things here. If we have the Ilvian link, I need to confirm some things. Besides just having the altar, it's bloodlines, family, any symbols in particular.
Her symbol is that of a rib cage. It's got like a rib with a, I think it had a blood drop, sort of in the crux of it. Here's the link again to her page.
This is actually.
Is that what you were looking for?
It is. It's here. Just gonna.
Her domains were knowledge, blood, and order.
I actually need to confirm something.
Blood, you say? Okay, so we both know where Pyro's going, right?
This is the god he's already been patroned by. This is the one.
Rocco joke.
Wait, was that?
I stand by my shithead
the
comment.
Was that the religious symbol I created for him?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share with the DM what you're confirming?
I am. I needed to read a part of the little blurb you had for her. Alright. Karen, just to confirm, the little shrine we made was just a thing for the symbol, and then it was mounted on a piece, right?
Pretty much.
And in her depictions, she's typically like that depiction also on the sites. I imagine that's somewhat accurate. More nighttime creature given vampire as well in the same.
She's a little bit of like a moonlight look, yeah. As well as like the see-through body showing the bones and stuff.
So Karen's gonna take the symbol and he's gonna head off into the woods.
All right. Is this during in the morning or during the at night? So later that night, after you've been drinking
if I recall,
all day.
It's like right as the werebear things were wearing off.
Oh, I forgot to mention that happening. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, oh well.
Yeah.
It didn't fit tonally, so you got X. But on that, technically that would have fucked with the Katira chat. But
Uh-huh.
normally, well, no, that would have been one of the second-ish. Normally, when you have those full moon nights, you're just kind of stuck in the hybrid form, and you speak kind of falteringly. You can still communicate, but it's not as clear as usual.
We'll
You
say
can-
a moment of trauma put him in a point there, but
Yeah.
he takes this and heads into the woods.
Okay.
And
I was gonna say who. Normally, I'd say Katira would be able to clock when you leave, but she's on her own thing at the moment.
mhm.
Does anybody think they keep an eye on Karen?
Honestly, probably Zankira. He's seen. He's had his fair share of companions have crises of faith.
All right. What's your passive? If you're actively watching him, your
I'd like to
passive
think Dat would
investigation.
also, considering he's tunneled everybody's room.
Karen, roll me stealth.
I mean,
Oh,
if I
at
stop
disadvantage.
hearing all the... Yeah,
Because you are
never mind.
hammered drunk. That is if you're wanting to slip out.
He's at this point. He's really not trying to hide himself. He's just quote unquote leaving.
Then I'm gonna say everybody who was watching for you would notice you left. Everybody who wasn't didn't.
You see him dragging along that symbol and as well as the alchemical jug.
Just imagine when you set it to like ale, it just had the like 3 X's
Imagine
for like a moonshine jug.
He's shit faced and he's probably shirtless too. Just
Yeah, sweating.
a very bedraggled, covered in sweat. Just like. Grr.
He walks past a room and careless whispers, vaguely heard as he continues past.
Clinging noise. Whatever.
Let's see how it ends up this time. Zankira will follow him.
Varshi is definitely up in the air.
Yeah.
Karen is unaware of her given his drunken state, but she's keeping an eye on him.
Karen is going into
You do so.
pretty deep into the woods. Eventually, just wandering.
Eventually, you would come across the bubble around Moonwatch.
He didn't give a fuck. Just going.
You're gonna try and go through it.
It doesn't stop me from going out.
You can pass out of it.
But it won't let me back in.
I'll say it this way: you haven't asked the question, and Karen is shit-faced drunk at the moment.
Yep, he doesn't care then. He's going.
Out he goes.
Just staring at the sky as he's just wandering through the woods. He's going. He's looking for a very particular clearing. Let's see here. That has a good amount of space. Was looking for a very large clearing with a direct light. Yeah.
You come to a place that has a slight hill, and some of the trees have been like. I'll say you found a slight like lumber yard where some of the trees are starting to be cleared out, and you find a hill with some stumps. That is what you're looking for.
All right.
Before you get there, though, real quick, Zonkiri, do you also follow outside of the bubble?
I'd probably have Varshi follow him. Till there's about 50 feet between him and Varshi, and while that's happening, he's going to be testing the barrier to see if it stops teleportation as well as mundane travel.
Yeah, you cannot teleport back to the other side of it if you step out of it. But I'm assuming you're like casting Identify on it to get the knowledge of its nature rather than crossing it. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's basically if the city's like red flag that it extends underground. It's a complete bubble, prevents teleporting back over. You have to have basically a specific code. You have to know orientation of the glyph to cause it to open, which you haven't quite figured out yet. But
Did Zonkiri see somebody open it when we came in?
they had it was on a ship far away. It was while you were still on sea. Somebody over there, they group cast and opened it. If you saw somebody on the road do it, you might. But you might have to wait until morning to be let back in if you cross.
Okay.
So, all that said, go ahead and continue, Karen.
Fuck. Pins in this clearing. He's just staring up. I would like to roll a perception check real quick. See if I can smell the undead.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Kazing. Ignore that. The plus 2.
Yeah, you don't have guidance, so
Yeah, exactly. Where's the thing? We'll tag that off.
so 17.
Here we go.
You don't notice. Give me a stealth for Varshi just in case, Zonkiri.
Okay.
Oh no, you would have disadvantage too, Karen, because drunk.
Yeah, he's specifically smelling to see if he can smell the vampires.
Ironically, you do spot a bat, but
In the woods at night.
Yeah, he's like he glares at it. It doesn't. We've dealt with familiars in the past, like vampiric ones, so kind of glares at it. Doesn't even recognize it's probably Varshi.
yeah. But you're in your
spits
clear.
spits on the ground. He's going to dig a hole.
You start digging. Eventually, you get to 2-3 feet deep, just digging with your hands. There's dirt in every orifice.
I will specify. I'm also a bear,
Oh,
like hybrid.
that
so claws.
significantly helps the digging speed.
Yes.
Just claw, 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 and you get a serious divot. Are you going deeper or wider?
Wider.
You get a pretty wide hole then.
And he's going to at the head of this hole. He's going to plant the symbol in it.
Interesting.
And he's going to look up. I know I'm not your probably your favorite right now, but I need answers. I need something before I do other things I may regret. So if there's any time to not be so unseen or unheard hand, it's now.
As you're laying in this hole with that.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't done.
Oh, go ahead.
Goddess of blood. Let it get real edgy. He didn't think of going down to find a boar or something to just bleed, so he's just like, all right. The only in his fucking stupor. Well, the only correct option right now is to bleed my hands in there. So he does so with the bear claws, just like sip. Not too big cuts. He's still enough Doctor Brain to know. Probably don't want to do that while drunk specifically.
Yeah.
Also, if he's a doctor, he should probably know not to cut the palm of his hand. If you're going to give a blood sacrifice, you're going to want to cut your forearm.
Yeah.
Specifically the outside edge of it.
He's not trying to put too much blood in there. He's not trying to fill the hole.
Well, no. It's not so much cutting your hand to give too much blood. Is that because of the amount of motion that there, it is incredibly hard for that kind of wound to heal.
You know what? Yeah. You're right. So he would just go along the arm then.
Medical knowledge.
Yeah. So he does that and just into the hole.
You lie staring at the moon. I'd like to say, Zonkiri, as you stare through Varshi's eyes or have Varshi watch, nothing happens to Karen other than him lie there and just breathe. But Karen, As you let a cough one moment, the dirt suddenly snaps back to its place and you are buried.
He's buried.
Yes. Thank you. You cannot breathe at the moment. Dirt has filled your mouth and lungs. You are choking on soil.
Yeah, he's struggling
Yeah.
fucking
Thrashing.
furiously.
The
Die,
ground
motherfucker,
feels
die, that motherfucker, die.
heavy. And eventually, you go still. And as you wait for the sweet relief of death, an icy, bony hand grabs the front of your face and holds your eyes shut. It is a cold hand. It does not feel comforting. A second hand with the same cold, bony feeling grabs your shoulder and seemingly pulls you up from the dirt. You feel a wind buffeting you. As the first hand moves, you see a snowstorm. You are back on Casterg. You look around and you see no one. And whether it's the experience or whatever's going on, you feel stunningly sober. And you're just standing in the middle of an ice plain in the clothes you were wearing. Snow
Am I?
swirling.
I look at my body. Has anything else changed?
No, you were as you were then.
I'm bared.
Yeah, you're still the bear you were that you were when you were laying down.
All right. Is this it then? More games? Because I've seen what lurks up there. Just popping in, do whatever it wants. I don't know what to do. I have nothing else. I can't stop the fucking Casturgians like this. I feel useless. I need something. Yelling out into the wind as he's trudging forward.
You see a figure standing in the snow eventually. Tall, very proper posture, hands folded behind their back, standing at you. You can't make out many features other than it seems to be some sort of female figure. Just staring at you in the blizzard.
Actually, he just stares. He keeps wandering forward till he's toward this person. Like 10 feet at minimum.
You get close and you see you are 10 feet from them, and the snow is getting heavier and heavier, and it's obscuring their features. You see whatever they have on has a sort of trench coat appearance, and the wind is whooshing it to the side, giving you a bit more of a silhouette of them. They seem to have a longer snout-like head rather than a base humanoid. Just staring at you.
And stares back and just starts getting more and more distraught.
Stepping out from behind this figure, you see a series of smaller ones. These don't look like halflings or gnomes. These look like half-formed, premature figures standing in the snow, and they begin to form a circle around you with silhouettes. Just stepping seemingly from behind one another until you're surrounded.
He grips his palms. This doesn't feel like family. This feels cold. Family isn't supposed to be cold. Why? What are you?
The figure remains standing there silently, as you see these bulkier forms step out from behind her and begin to form a second circle around it.
You are directed as... He's like... He's getting himself for another rant. Why carry yourself like this? Other gods have no issue running about like this. I've heard. On their planets, they do whatever the hell they want. Why is it this unseen thing? We go about. Is it effective? Do you just not see? Do you even care?
The figure stays staring at you. He holds no words. You see it takes a few steps back, though, and the circle widens.
He just falls to his knees. He's crying now. Is everything I strive for. Does it mean nothing?
The figure, the rest of the circle continues to expand of other people from your past that you've lost.
No matter how I try, I keep failing. I keep fucking up. How do I bring down a regime like this? Of fucking monsters. I took the blood of a fucking mother bear. Just so I could stay longer. Is that just my greed? My fear of death? I was chased by fucking death through a goddamn undersea tunnel! It didn't feel like you were there. Nothing could have helped me there. What fucking was that? Why is it I always find myself surrounded by monsters? Yet when I try, I always fall back on my ass like I'm still a scared whelp. This is all just a bunch of fucking games.
The figure steps forward, and even though they are now beat from you, they're still obscured somehow, except for their eyes. Piercing neon blue that you haven't seen naturally in anyone's face before stares at you.
Why? Please, don't know what to do.
It takes your hand, both of them, and puts them together, and folds its hands over yours. And it doesn't say a word, but it shares a feeling with you. It gestures to the family around you, the ones you've lost time and time again. And you hear echoed back whether or not everything you've done has been worth it. You hear your voice echoed back to you through this figure, and shows you some of these figures start to become clear. The snow clears off them, and you see people you've helped live better lives, those who got out because of you, those you've helped sneak away, or patched up when nobody else could, given advice that down the line they still use. Not all of them clear up this way, but many. Until the figure in front of you looks back at you once it all seems to settle. It gestures to the ones around you, and you hear echoing back in the words you said, "Is everything I did for nothing? Is it just a game? Just a game?" And you see lives that you have changed, not because you had faith, but because you had care for others. And you found a way, with or without powers, to make that work. The figure lifts you up off your knees. A tunnel appears in the snow behind her, as if the blizzard suddenly impacted a plastic tube. It points you in that direction.
He stares at that. He's trying to memorize what little of this figure he can see. This. But it keeps coming back to his eyes.
Something about them is unnervingly clear. Do you step towards the tunnel?
He. For a second, he stays looking at this figure, just trying to memorize his god. That he's come to. He hasn't really seen too many direct depictions of Ilvian.
Correct.
So he's just trying to drink this in.
In your
Memorize
awe,
it.
something must have been set off in her, because she grabs you by the shoulder and the back of your neck and thrusts you towards one of these silhouettes, holding your head to stare at them. And this is one that hasn't quite come clear yet, seemingly aiming you to focus at them.
I will do so.
Give me a wisdom check.
If there was a time to we have a god damn it, Norby. The problems with having multiple monitors, I see the news now. 20. Oh, hey, Liv. You just missed my trauma.
It's intermission. How are we doing? Are we all still alive?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Karen's
Mostly?
having his crisis of faith right now, and he's in a blizzard with his god.
Again? He's in a blizzard with his god.
Don't
Yes.
worry about it.
So,
Well, now I'm incredibly worried about it.
Just going through it. He's drunk.
Yeah.
Wait, oh my god, but you had said earlier that, like, you never spoke to your god before. Now you get to.
Well,
Karen,
he still
that's so
hasn't spoke to me.
special.
she said no
That's
words.
a depression.
She a quiet hoe. So yeah, I got a 20.
So you, as she's pointing you at this figure, the fog lifts a little bit. And you see this tall, young-looking figure with pale skin and a military uniform.
I recognize this wench.
You've met this person recently. They informed you that the gloves were off.
He grinds his teeth. You kidding me?
Your question echoes back. How am I supposed to take down a regime like this? She grabs your head as you turn and points it back to this person, then back to all the other revealed ones. What is this? A game? You remember
And
the people
then-
revealed are the ones whose lives you've changed. For being in
Under
their
his-
life has changed you.
Under his own volition, he turns around and looks at her.
Mm-hmm.
And it clicks for him. That's it. I think I get it now. Very well. He still has, he hesitates as he's saying it. He's stiff, but yeah, I think he's gotten the unseen message in a very backhanded way.
You think you have it, and she grabs you again and thrusts you
I
towards
do.
more.
Oh, god damn it. Ah!
You see standing
Ah!
around you 6 figures, clear as day. Your party,
Please,
standing.
no. No, they're all assholes. No.
And yet they are revealed, changed
They
by
are
knowing
revealed.
you.
Yes,
Grabs you
correct.
again, flings you deeper into the storm.
Ah!
You called your god out.
I
She's
did.
having words in her own
Shit.
way.
I didn't mean to throw hands!
You
You
skid
asked
into
for
the
a
snow.
sign.
Listen up, bitch. Here you go.
You wanted to talk? Alright.
See, Connor, the phasmophobia method worked.
You climb up and you
It
see
worked again.
a silver dragonborn standing
Oh,
in front of you,
here
clearer
we
than
go.
anyone else.
Please. Okay. He stands up. I'm having a very, very Scrooge moment here.
She,
Throw me in
gra-
front of my grave next, I dare you.
she grabs you by the back of your shirt and lifts you up.
I'm not wearing a shirt. That's my neck.
The scruff of your bare skin.
Ah!
She flips you around
Here we go.
and just stares at you again.
Right. He's just staring back.
That tunnel opens up again near you.
Oh shit. Alright. I'll go. Does she put me down?
She does. She eventually
Okay.
sets you down after staring you for a second.
I will. After a moment.
She does.
Just scuttle out of her arm's reach for a second.
After she does sit you down, I was going to say, she does take her finger and just like jab it into your chest for a second, and you feel the surge of magic that you had before shoot back into you. Should you choose to keep it.
He'll see that again. And he's a jumble of emotions right now, just trying to figure out the lines, between the lines, the unseen poke.
Yeah.
The mute god. Just, and after a moment he'll look. He keeps looking back again at the Inquisitor. And he just gets the face again, like, oh fuck, we're doing this one, aren't we? Okay. All right. He doesn't necessarily like it, but he understands a line of thought there.
And what is that line of thought?
Change doesn't necessarily need to be violent. Because he's all about dead vampiros, and he's just seeing that has created some sort of movement along the karmic scale. He's looking at it.
Karen's an intuitive person.
Yeah.
What questions is he trying to ask Ilvian, and I, as God, can tell you how they're answered through nonverbal means?
I don't necessarily have to murder the Inquisitor, or because Karen's modus operandi has been to somehow create a very, very genocide vampire uprising. But now that I'm looking at it, he's already been put up against zealots, so he's thinking, wait a minute, I think I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the messages that she's telling you here.
Like, and then that implies, god damn it. Literally, god damn it.
I think it's the opposite of what she's trying to get you to do.
I don't know anymore. I'm very confused. Alright.
I'll be right back.
Bye.
I have.
I think I need to spam call the Inquisitor. with sending now. This is now
Hey, hold on,
So
wait a
how's
minute.
Dat Rat doing?
alive somewhat. I
He's
think
literally stitched together.
Oh,
he's
yucky
in
looking.
he's in student debt.
He's also 20K in debt.
No,
Yep.
I remember that part. I think I was leaving right as he was like had finished the contract and asked the Fae about getting a mushroom to chuck at somebody.
Yeah, his mental scores have been shafted.
Oh, did he get like the resurrection penalty like you do on I think Raised
No, I
Dead?
think I think he
He's
I think
cursed.
he just caught brain damage.
Oh, that's right. He did say something about a curse. I didn't know what it was.
Cursed by the Fae, which is shafting his mental scores. I don't know how bad, but I just know they're getting shafted. Because when Connor said it, he said, change your scores, plural, appropriately. And
It's
she
bad.
said, fuck
It's
you.
real
Rest
bad.
in pieces.
So I
It's
imagine it's like
bad.
-2 or 3 in every mental score.
It's bad.
Are they
It's real
all,
bad.
Are they all like negative modifiers now?
I'm pretty sure
Plead
we're
the
very
fifth.
close.
Yeah.
What? Say again?
Back again, sorry. Sick mom
I
thing.
said I plead the fifth.
Welcome.
Oh,
So,
darling.
finishing
oh,
up this
no.
dream sequence.
Right.
What other questions did you want to ask Ilvian? You had gotten that she's telling you. You've picked up that more or less she's telling you very clearly, look at
Not being a
everything you've
bitch.
done. Look
No.
at what you've done. It wasn't me who did this for you. Did I force your hand to change these people's lives? So why are you saying that you're suddenly powerless? And then she
Connor,
flung you.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but my I literally just like cut out for a second.
Oh.
They're like, it just popped off.
You see as she essentially says, look at everything you've done. Only a minimal part of this was because I gave you powers. You have the audacity to say that you are powerless? I'm going to now throw you into the snow and show you more to prove you wrong. Your god,
Yep.
you learn intuitively that your god has certain views on autonomy of her followers and free will.
I say
And
maybe I should buy a book on Elvin.
you kind of had said, in either explicitly or implied, that without your powers, there's nothing you can do. You're just battered by the wind. Nothing you can do. And that upset her. You get the feeling in this anger, it's because she thinks highly of you. That she's upset that you think you're now worthless.
Dear God, did I just go do like the cleric version of Teenage Angst? No.
A little.
No! No!
And she's standing there waiting for you to say something. She has made the exit tunnel for you, essentially, whenever you're ready to go. But as you saw before, if you hadn't quite gotten the message, she's gonna grab you.
I made Godmom angry.
You do now see
Say
there's
sorry,
a
Mom,
long...
and just walk out the door, dude.
There is
It's your best bet.
You do see there is a long, spiny bone stinger trailing behind her.
No, Connor, that's not a stinger. That's a belt. That's a belt, Connor. And I know what's gonna happen if I say the wrong thing.
You talking back to me?
Boy!
Karen was never seen again.
Karen got sent out to pick out his own switch.
Boy, I will slap the green right out of your skin.
I'll make you look like a gun bad orc before today's out.
So,
Alright.
last chance. Is there anything else you want to ask Ilvian before you leave here? You know the work and what you had to go through to get to this chat, so...
Yeah. Karen's feeling things, but chief among them is shame.
Shame for doubting her? Shame for doubting yourself? Shame for what?
A vast mixture of the three, but mainly himself. Because he realized he went... now that it's come to this perspective where he's getting thrown around like a fucking muppet, that it was only literally toward the end of his life where he got clerical. Was just like, hang on a minute here. I'm sensing danger and an ass whipping. That he literally put himself in a drunken stupor, walked outside of a very, very effective force field when there's things that it's all come crashing down. Decisions were made, maybe a little rash.
Oh, she sobered him up, literally.
Literally, I was thrown into a blizzard, full nippled.
Yeah.
All right then. I see I've made a fool of myself. I'm going to bow out. Thanks, Godmom. I will go out this door, and I will take out the trash.
And back to theater. Fare thee well.
Fairly well.
Right. And as
Yeah,
you
he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do the dishes, and I'm gonna go wash the dog, and I'm gonna go do cleric things. Thanks, Mom. Goodbye.
And as you're exiting, the last thing she does, she covers your eyes for a second, just as you're about to cross the threshold, and you get a glimpse of what the orphanage is now. Ruins. The building is broken and long since abandoned, seeming.
Oh. Yeah.
Then she kind of flips you around and pushes you, and the last thing you see are the silhouettes of all the children and Dagna before you wake up out of the dirt. You are cold to the touch.
Oh God. How much did I?
You do somehow are vomiting out dirt, even though you weren't actually buried by Varshi's perspective.
Oh shit. Looks at the jug. Just water.
You can't change what the jug makes.
It's
Till the
just
end of the
water.
day. More beer.
Wash away the dirt taste with the beer dirt taste. Alright. Yeah, and he's going to tentatively. Let's see here, cast light. Actually, no, it's not light. He didn't have that. Yeah, he got rid of that. Let's see here. We are going to, according to Pyro.
Well, you do have something that can cast light.
Yeah.
Why don't you try guidance?
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He'll spare the dying on himself, actually. It's just like, ah!
You're not a valid target.
I'm pretty cold to the touch. I'm not sure anymore. Resistance, whatever. Like, bolster something.
You do, and you feel Lillian's magic cover you again.
Note to self. Don't talk shit to God, Mom. Okay.
Your holy symbol is now covered in frost. Like, will permanently be covered in frost.
Note to self. Also, God of Cold. Keep
That's where you're from.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna lie here for a second.
Your holy symbol had an interesting reaction to having a heart-to-heart with your god near it.
Yeah, I'm just lying here thinking, and I look up, is that Varshi?
You do now clearly see Varshi in the branches staring at you.
How much of that did you see, Zankiri?
Varshi just.
Did you see me getting tossed around like an underling child?
Varshi,
Come down here. I don't want to talk at the trees.
Can you not hear me?
And I think I'm still
can.
losing.
I can hear you.
Are my hands bleeding? Are my arms bleeding? What the fuck?
Pyro?
What the fuck?
We can all hear you. We're not sure if he can hear you.
Pyro, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I can.
Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Oh,
now
so
I
you're just talking over him. Okay.
No, I wasn't hearing him.
Huh.
As you ask how much of it.
Hello?
Well,
Hang on,
Hello?
You said
No, that was all of us this time, man.
he said
Oh, okay.
you said when you ask how much of it, and then too long of a silence for me to believe it was real.
My dog's got in the way.
Ah,
Well then,
She like holds her wings out about like half fully outstretched.
is it starting to rain?
And this much. I saw this much.
I don't think
It's these much. Fuck no.
so. And again, Varshi only ever saw him like laying on the floor. This whole dream sequence, she would have seen like frost gradually grow on the symbol and like little bits of him to signify, oh, something's happening. But yeah. Pyro, can you hear Fergus?
Not right now.
Well, I'm not talking right now.
The last thing I started hearing was Connor explaining.
What was the last thing you heard him say?
So Varshi,
Yeah, so he just spoke a minute ago. Or not
Yeah.
even a minute, like 20 seconds ago.
mm-hmm.
Ay. I'm gonna
It's
go
David.
ahead and call it.
Wait, you
Whatever
can't
comical
hear
Varshi moment that
him?
was gonna happen, this is gonna be far too much labor to make it happen.
It
So,
was, and then the Norse decided, pain.
you make your way back to the barrier, and we'll pick up next session as you try and figure out a way to convince the
Indeed.
guards to let you back through.
Silver,
very
did you say something?
Yeah,
What were you saying?
never mind.
Okay. Just didn't want you to lose your chance to say something.
No, it was just questioning about Pyro not hearing something.
I see.
We'll just attribute it to the good old North State in the sky.
Okay.
Right, and I am going to go ahead and deal everybody a inspiration card because it's been a minute for those.
Woo! Did we get one level?
You should have, yes.
Excellent.
I didn't. The last
I don't-
3 times you've given them out, you haven't given me one.
Well, now you have
I
one.
don't believe I've gotten any recently.
Okay.
Oh,
gotta
advantage
go.
on charisma check. Perfect.
Does he lose his cards if he dies?
Yes. If you have a new character, all your cards get deleted. That's why he burnt most of all of his when he
I
was
need
dying.
to give someone my card.
What you got?
Advantage on strength check. I got
yeah.
2 of them.
Oh, I want.
I'll trade you for advantage on int.
Well,
Oh,
Hey, I've got charisma. Who wants charisma?
I just got one of those.
Actually,
I mean, if you want to trade for the int card, I mean, it would be good.
Int on the ground.
I'm gonna hold on to charisma for the next time. I have to
Strength
convince.
one is on the
You know what?
resident.
Now that I think
There.
I have to go talk
Mine
to
is
some
on
charisma
top
lady
of-
again. I now need to hold on to charisma.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like I'm gonna need something to bolster my 11 charisma.
Here's the question: should Morgana use her charisma card for a performance check?
Or a performance check. No way. Bad Dat Raht.
oh. Adario, please.
Oh,
Trash.
no, you need the
Trash
card.
taste.
Stop trying to steal my cards, bullshit.
Did you get your tongue stuck in a gear? What's wrong with you?
What?
Shameful. Shameful activity.
Ow, -2 be like.
I guess you could say Dario found how to turn her off.
No, let me roll an actual performance check instead of my charisma check. There.
Hey.
I was really
That's
hoping with
insane.
another net one.
You could
I believe
say
you're socially awkward enough to have disadvantage.
you could say Endaro's learning how to flick the switch.
And then with that, we are
Oh,
going
no.
to end the recording. I will
Yeah.
see you all next
I thought
week.
you